Baseball is dead.
Rest in peace.
It's a Monday episode after a weekend of some pretty exciting baseball. Some series disappointed me. Not because of any particular rooting interest that I had, but that Rays-Yankees series was a real dud.
Yeah, that was supposed to go completely differently.
I don't care who wins or loses in that series. I just wanted more competitive baseball. They were all fucking boring-ass blowout games. I
care because I want the race to be as tight as possible. I'm rooting for all of the tight races. I'm rooting, come on.
That's a good way to look at it. We're rooting for tight races. And we want exciting baseball here in the month of September. There's a few different storylines. This is a very storyline-oriented podcast today, specifically. We're going to talk about Braves Mariners. We'll get into the Yankees-Rays series a little bit. Dodgers Padres over the weekend, which used to be exciting. Now that's boring as fuck too. It's just, I used to look forward to, I remember back in my day, we used to look forward to Dodgers Padres.
Yeah. Used to be something. Used to be a series
used to mean something
that they talked about.
Used to circle those games.
We used to talk about the San Diego Padres and the Los Angeles Dodgers as the most heated rivalry in all of NL Westdom.
Yeah.
It was. It was a fight.
It was.
Every game it was an actual fight.
It wanted to be there for a while. It really truly wanted to, when it wanted to grow up, it wanted to be a better rivalry than Dodgers Giants. It wanted to be, it had hopes. It's now like, all right, we're probably just going to get our GED and probably like, I don't even know if JUCO's a thing for us right now. That's kind of how that rivalry has fizzled out. Like Dodgers Giants rivalry, big time blue chip high school prospect, tons of D1 offers going anywhere you want. Dodgers Padres rivalry, like I said, GED early, probably because you missed a year just dicking around, and now you're really working uphill.
The reason why it's so upsetting that rivalry sucks now is because the Padres are still going to end up being a playoff team. And by the way, that's another thing that we're going to take a look at today is if the playoffs started today, because I know some people are confused. Not everyone is confused, but some people are confused. How the fuck does the playoff format work now with the third wild card?
We're confused. Every time we bring this up, we fuck it up.
All right, so do you want to just do that right now? Let's do that right now.
Let's fuck it up right now. Let's fuck it up
right now.
We are here to fuck your Monday up.
Yeah. If the playoffs started today, close your eyes and try and visualize this. We're going to look at the standings right now.
Good luck. I'm not looking.
The Yankees are in first place. The Guardians are in first place. The Astros are in first place. The Mets, Cardinals, and Dodgers are in first place. Your wild card teams. You have the Tampa.
That took you fucking 2 seconds.
Well, because this is weird. Why does it say? Why does it say that the ESPN wildcard standings right now don't make any sense? Like they're showing the Astros and the Yankees. Like those aren't playoff teams.
Well, what are you looking
at? Those aren't wildcard teams.
We know the American League is already wrapped up. We just got to wait for the fucking Central to get their shit together to figure out who's going to actually be forced to win that division. Whoever is forced to win that division, that's the only thing we're waiting on.
Yeah. Rays, Mariners, Blue Jays, Phillies, Padres, Braves. Okay. So with how this works, because the Astros have the best record in the American League and the Yankees have the second best record, they both have a bye to the division series. So right now, the Yankees would play the winner of a best of 3 series between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Cleveland Guardians. Okay, so that's the 6 seed versus the 3 seed. And then the Astros would play the winner of the Rays versus the Mariners, also in a best of 3. That is the 4 seed versus the 5th seed.
Correct.
Then, on the National League side of things, and this is all if the playoffs started today, the New York Mets as the number 2 seed would have a bye. The Dodgers as the number 1 seed would have a bye. The Dodgers would play the winner of Braves versus Phillies, the 4 seed versus the 5 seed in a best of 3. And the Mets would play the winner of the Cardinals versus the Padres, the 3 seed versus the 6th seed. Does that make sense?
Yep. Total sense.
Yeah. So, that worst division winner is the 3 seed who gets to play that 3rd wild card team in the wild card round.
Yes.
So you are granted a first round bye. You're granted a first round bye if you have the 1 or 2 best record in the league.
Correct.
And if you have the best record in your respective league, then you will not play a potential division winner until the league championship series.
Yeah, the NL picture, not as I guess both. I mean, it both looks pretty clear.
Yeah. I wouldn't. I mean, would you be shocked if the Brewers just beat out the Padres? Because that's on the table.
No, I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, because what separates those 2 teams right now? Just a couple games.
2 games.
2 games.
2 games. So there you go. I wouldn't be shocked. No, that's a series, man. That's fuck. You sweep a series and the other team drops 2 out of 3 over a weekend or to start a week, and you're in a really good spot, right? Like things have just completely turned on their head. So yeah, that's not too far-fetched, especially with what Milwaukee's capable of doing on the mound, and you get some timely offense in there. And yeah, for sure. That's been the Padres thing, is can we get both of those things to line up? Or not Padres, excuse me, the Brewers. Can we get both of those things to line up? Can we get the performance on the mound to line up with offense? Because it seems like it's kind of just, I don't want to say just been one or the other, but far too often it has been a good run of offensive outbursts and offensive production that doesn't necessarily line up with what you're getting on the mound, so it doesn't look as good as it should, or vice versa. You're getting guys slicing and dicing on the mound, but getting no love offensively.
So you're not counting out my Milwaukee Brewers.
You can't count them out.
Can't count them out.
Because the Padres, because Padres and Phillies don't want to. It's kind of like that wild card. Those 3 teams, how we talk about the AL Central. Those 3 teams, who's gonna make a move? Who's gonna make a move? Who's gonna create some separation here? With what do we got left? 20 ball games, 25 ball games, somewhere in there left.
25ish, yeah.
So
it's more like you can't count the Padres in.
It's not about counting the Brewers out. It's about not counting the Padres in. Padres are just on the side of that fucking double dutch, like, right here. Well, hold on. Not yet. Maybe now. Nope. Fucking come on.
That's a great way to look at it, Joe.
Yeah.
It's a great way to look at it. You can't count the Padres in. And, that would have been a crazy statement to make a couple months ago.
Well, how quiet has the whole, like, Juan Soto, you know what I mean? Like, there was so much
He's in the middle of the worst slump of his career right now.
There was so much hype around what this dude was going to do and what he was going to bring to the table, and then shit hits the fan with Tatis, and that obviously has an impact on stuff. But he has, I would say he has quietly gone quiet. Usually when something like this happens to a player of this magnitude and he goes through this struggle, especially making a move from the team he was on to the team he's on now, and what that was supposed to do for the team he's on now, it's just kind of been like oh, that's right. Juan Soto's not playing very well right now for the Padres.
He's hitting 218 with a 727 OPS as a Padre, but that's largely because he gets walked all the time. He has a 381 on base percentage. So it's a 218 batting average and a 346 slugging percentage.
Yeah, that's tough.
He's walking for you. That's about it.
Yeah. It's
That's
like
tough.
even when he sucks, he still kind of gets on base. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Last 12 games, 077, a 280 on base, and an 077 slug.
That's why having guys that can do that is valuable, and that's why
Sure.
Moneyball in its day was, revolutionary, because it's like, okay, all right, these guys are actually going to put a team together where they're valuing guys and their ability to not swing the bat and make outs just as much as other teams value the guys who swing the bat and don't make outs. Bold strategy. Let's see how this plays out. And
I make outs.
do you make outs?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
Sure do.
they're not valuable outs.
They're
You're fucking hollow. Hollow fucking.
They're hollow outs. I saw that Bob Nightingale tweet.
Mm-hmm. Just saw
Where-
Bob Nightingale over the weekend
Where the fuck was he?
at an event that we were both at.
Oh, was it like the roast of Dave Stewart?
That's right. That's right.
Damn.
The roast of Stu. Dave Stewart.
Was
got
it funny?
Dave Stewart got his jersey retired, his number retired by the Oakland
Oh.
Athletics.
Was the roast funny?
Yeah, the roast was, you got to hear from Tony La Russa. You got to hear from Todd Stottlemyre, fucking Carney Lansford. Big Mac, Ricky, Reggie. Yeah, it's fucking awesome. Dude, it's so it's so cool.
How much of Ricky's Dave Stewart speech was about Ricky though?
Well, what's great is those dudes grew up with each other, right? And
Yeah.
they were homies like long before they got to the big leagues. Long before they got to the big leagues. Like that's the cool thing is you get to know these guys specifically, and then you spend so much time around them because they have been so intertwined with each other's lives and baseball careers. When that stuff gets celebrated, it gets celebrated in Oakland, and I'm there for that. And so getting to know these dudes, you get brought into those stories, you get brought in behind the scenes, and it's great because, Reggie's up there talking shit about how Stu, like he's picking Stu up as a little boy. Reggie's playing for the Oakland A's, and he's picking up Dave Stewart as a child, like 11, 12-year-old kid, just trying to hook him up, take care of him, trying to take him to the ball game. And Stu's a little badass, and Stu's like, "No, man, I don't want your tickets. I'd rather break into this fucking place and sneak in with Ricky so we can go watch." And it was awesome. So you're hearing stories like that, but like if you know Ricky don't care if there's a microphone in front of his face or whatever. Like he's just going to talk. He's going to say what he's going to say. If you hear him, great. If you're going to clap, outstanding. If that's going to fuck up your chance to listen to what else he's saying, that's on you. Like Ricky's just going to do his thing. And a lot of the time, like the stories outside are just as good, if not better. So that's yeah, it was a cool night. But I saw old Bobby Nightingale.
Yeah.
That's the
Just
main
fucking
takeaway.
Stumbling and bumbling. Dallas, real quick. Thoughts on Dak?
I'm going to tell you one of the toughest places to find out that, because I just put my phone away when I got on the airplane, and I don't get on the Wi-Fi when I'm on the airplane. I just fucking lock into a show or whatever. So we land, and the fucking alerts, and I'm like, you gotta fucking kidding me. And I'm in Texas. We just landed in Arlington, right here.
Mm-hmm.
Not a great place to find out your starting quarterback has a fucked up thumb that requires surgery, and you're now scrambling, unlike the quarterback you have on the roster, to try to make a fucking move. Not ideal. Not ideal. We already lost a large chunk of what we were doing offensively in the offseason. Our best route runner gone, protection gone. Now we've got a guy who's down. Our tackle's done. It's a fucking shit show right now in Jerry's world. An absolute shit show. The fact that we don't have somebody that's viable behind Dak right now on the fucking roster, this is what this is where we're at Ben DiNucci, answer your fucking phone. All right? It's not a good spot.
It's a great spot because the NFL's opening week was action-packed and it's just getting started. Get ready for week 2 of touchdowns, big plays, and even bigger wins with the DraftKings Sportsbook.
Fuck every bit of you.
An official sports betting partner of the NFL. This week, new customers can bet just $5 on any football game and get $200 in free bets instantly. You want more action, Dallas?
Yeah, I fucking sure do.
Everyone can experience the thrill of DraftKings early win promotion. It's simple. This Sunday, bet on any NFL team to win. If your team leads by 10, did the Cowboys lead by 10 at any point?
Jared, you just keep reading that fucking ad. Sound good?
If your team leads by 10 at any point during the game, you get paid instantly. Even if your team loses. Did the Cowboys lose?
Jared.
I don't watch football, man. I was watching baseball. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use the promo code Jared, that is JARED, to get $200 in free bets instantly when you place a $5 bet on any football game. That's promo code Jared only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See the show notes for details. I brought up old Bobby Nightingale because he had a tweet. He had a tweet the other day when they were talking about the new rules for MLB.
Oh.
And he said, so I'm paraphrasing, I don't have the tweet in front of me, but it was something like, MLB conducted their research and people were clamoring for more triples and stolen bases and was listing all this shit. I'm like, who the fuck are these people? I'm not saying that they're wrong. I'm not saying that, we don't want to see more triples and stolen bases and all that shit. But who are they asking? Did they ask you, Joey?
No.
Jake, did you get contacted by Major League Baseball about this?
No, they didn't reach out.
Dallas, I mean, you're employed by a Major League Baseball team. Did they say, hey, Dallas, what are you clamoring for?
No, I did not have a clamor pamphlet passed around.
Okay, so I'm just curious where this information came from. Major League Baseball is like, you know what? We're just gonna say that people were clamoring for this shit.
Yeah, they're reading the comments.
Yep, that's what it is. I'm convinced that that's what R&D is these days.
Just reading Twitter comments.
R&D is getting in the comments section. Let's get onto these subreddit pages. Let's get into the comments section. Let's really get a vibe for what these people who log in all day long and do nothing but log in and do shit like that. Let's just get a feel for what they think. All right, that's where we're really gonna fucking nail this thing.
It's funny, but you're probably right.
Oh, dude, I'm not. Trust me, I am talking out of both sides of my mouth, but straight up, I have lived, I have lived the comment section affecting or actually impacting conversations you have at work. Have, I'm sure. Jared, come on. Yes, that's all. That's all shit gets based on sometimes.
Oh my God, yeah.
Which is hilarious.
At the old place, everyone is looking at the Reddit. Everyone is looking at the Reddit, and people are
crazy. It's the worst thing to look at.
Yeah, I mean, that Reddit specifically is an absolute cesspool of garbage. But I don't know. I feel like our Reddits are pretty. If it's negative, it's constructive criticism. It's never
and
horrible shit.
Yeah, and I've always had respect for that. Say what you want to say and fucking say it with some attitude. Say it with some flair. Put your own stuff. Yeah. I'm not going to take it as any bigger of a fuck you because you use the word fuck or because you said asshole in a way that I can understand you don't truly mean asshole. Or if you do truly mean it, did you use it in a way that I can appreciate?
What about your YouTube comments, Joey? I feel like YouTube comments can be pretty nasty, but I feel like your audience is not that type of audience.
Compared to Reddit, I mean, dude, my comments on my YouTube is mostly, it's all great, pretty much.
It's all great.
It's a lot of comments, so there are shit.
I'm doing fucking awesome.
But if you go to Reddit, I mean, if I based anything off of Reddit, r/baseball, I mean, they can suck my dick, dude.
Yeah, they
r/baseball can fuck off.
Yeah,
people post my videos on r/baseball, and every single time the comments, this guy is they hate me on there. This guy is the worst.
I don't know what it is.
Why is Reddit coming for you?
I don't know.
Anytime that I tweet something that gets posted on baseball Reddit, it's always prefaced with like, really sorry to have to cite this guy, but like he makes a really great point here, or like this is a really interesting, like fuck Carrabis, but like this is a really interesting thing that he just said. This is a pretty funny tweet. Like I don't know where that hate came from, but I'm sure it was partly like the affiliation. But yeah, no, they are not big fans of me.
They're all, you know, they're all baseball savant geniuses. They know everything. So unless you're talking about like some like really fucking critically, I don't know, analytical or just I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Unless you're
who's your boy Dallas? What's his name? Eno Saris, right?
Eno.
Yeah, I feel like he's probably like looked at as like a god there.
Or foolish baseball. If
they love Bailey.
You put him on r/baseball. He's probably the king of that shit.
Yep, John Boy. They like every video that he makes gets posted there. Yep.
I mean,
baseball, I don't know.
Too.
There's usually like a lot of interesting shit there. You would think that they have a sense of humor, but a lot of times it's a miss.
That's unfortunate.
There's not a lot of room for humor in some baseball circles, which is odd. I feel like baseball is probably like the one sport that's open to the most like.
Well, it's so funny because if that's the case, like on these platforms, like these are the people that everybody that's ever been in a clubhouse would tell you could never last 30 seconds in a clubhouse.
Yeah.
And that's just funny if that's how critical they are, that when you walk into like that'll get you snuffed out of a room real quick. Like you might be able to perform, but because you just can't handle what's going on, like shit might be a little different for you.
It's almost like some of not all, but some of that community are the types of math brains that hate jocks, but they're obsessed with baseball.
Well, I think you're going to find
you can't have the thing that you love without the jocks. Like they're very anti-jock, but they love baseball, which is just crawling with jocks.
It's like, oh, we need you to just be a part of this so that we can assess your performance and production and your value.
Right.
So you're definitely just a means to an end. I fucking whatever. That's fine.
Yeah.
Just give me your fucking slash line, you fucking nerd.
Yeah, I think like that's why
nerd. You're the fucking nerd.
I feel like our audience is mostly made up of like self-aware with sense of humor nerds. Because you have to be a nerd if you're a baseball. If you're a diehard baseball fan, you're a nerd. Like I am a nerd, big time nerd. But you have to at least be self-aware that you're a nerd. Because then if you take yourself too seriously as a nerd, now you're not a likable nerd.
Yeah, that's you don't want to be that guy.
No.
Don't be that guy.
No.
It's like being the only guy in the lineup without a hit. You don't want to be that guy.
Right. Like Juan Soto.
Wow. Shots fired.
I mean, hey, I'm trying to motivate the guy.
Well, I'm sure he's going to fucking download, rate, and subscribe right after BP.
He could.
He should.
He could. But the Bob Nightingale tweet was about the new MLB rules. And I would like to at least touch on them. I know that, people, it is what it is. It's worth the discussion. So they've got the pitch timer now, pitch clock.
Yep.
15 seconds when the bases are empty.
Mm-hmm.
20 seconds with runners on base. The hitter, and this is important now too.
One timeout.
The hitter gets one timeout per plate appearance.
Yes.
And I believe so that like this doesn't include these rules, but I think you're allowed like some sort of stoppage twice per plate appearance. So say there's a runner on first, I can throw over to first base twice.
Whoa, hold on. You're kind of molding, you're blending all of these things together. Because at the plate, the hitter has one timeout. The hitter can request time, or he has one timeout. Because remember, as we said today, the umpire has to grant
you time.
It is a request. It is not a right to be given timeout. As we said today in today's game, That's why we are taught and have been taught our whole life to not put your hand up and say time, but to just keep your hands on the bat and yell or say time, 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 so that if you are not granted it and the pitch is delivered,
You
you're
can
ready
still
to
fucking
go.
swing. Yeah.
That's it. So now
Yeah.
you are granted a timeout. You have one timeout as an individual player per plate appearance. As a pitcher,
Doesn't there still
You
have to be
have-
some sort of discretion though? Because what if you're like going through your fucking windup and I'm just like, all right, time. I step out. It's like, oh, I called time though. It's like, well, yeah, but he was already halfway through his windup.
That's absolutely going to be on the umpire. Yeah. So the idea is the hitter, as you step into the box and maybe the pitcher's getting a pitch and the hitter wants to step out. Well, he can only do that once. Like there's not going to be any of that. That's what they're trying to prevent, is the jockeying, stepping out, stepping off the rubber, stepping out, stepping off the rubber. Because on the mound, you get 2 disengagements.
Yeah.
2 step-offs, 2 disengagements, meaning when your foot is on the rubber, you are considered engaged. The minute that you break that, you have disengaged from the rubber. So you get 2 of those, all right? Pickoffs. You get 2 pickoffs. On your 3rd attempt, should you not get that runner out, they will be awarded second base. So if I pick off on my 3rd attempt and we get into a rundown and he gets back to first base and is safe, outstanding. Get up. You're going to second base now.
That's gonna drive pitchers crazy.
So when you think about the pitch clock, 20-second time limit with runners on base. All right, get your sign, get on, get engaged, get ready. And now there's a limit to what sort of back and forth we're going to have here. There's a limit to the cat and mouse game. And it's just all about once it starts. So, like for me, as a left-hander, I used to step off and act like I was picking over and then get engaged in the rubber quickly, get my sign, and be ready to pitch, all while that runner on first base was still laying on the ground. Like, oh shit, I dove back. He didn't even throw the fucking ball. Now he's ready to go. And then they would jump out there quickly, right? And I can't tell you how many times I would get a guy jumping out there in his second hop, boom, boom, taking off, and I just snap over. Just fucking so easy. Like tying Velcro shoes easy. And
how many career pickoffs did you have?
In the big leagues? I don't know. In the big leagues. I have no idea. But like minor leagues, all day. All day.
All day.
All day. Yeah, fools ain't running.
Imagine
Andrew Jones, when I faced Andrew Jones in Texas, I forget who I had picked off earlier in the game, but he got over to first base and I did the deke. I faked with a ball and he fucking dove back. And then he saw that I didn't have the ball and the dugout was laughing at him, because they were telling him about my move and they were fucking laughing at him. And he got up and stood on first base.
He didn't even take a lead?
Didn't even take a lead. Didn't get off the bag, and he was just laughing.
That's what the new Moneyball is. The Rays are gonna have like a pickoff specialist. Anytime there's a guy on base, put him in there.
Bring that guy in, snap over.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, but it and the idea is this is to create action, speed the game up, take away the lulls in action, right? Because at times we see 15 minutes go by without a ball in play. Like if you get somebody that's out there punching the side out, and then the next half inning, a guy comes up and punches a guy out, walks a guy. The last 5 hitters we've seen, the last 5 chances at offense have gone quiet. Swing and miss, take, strike 3. That happens 3 times, inning's over, not a fucking ball put in play. Then the next 2 batters of the next inning, say one walks, say they both walk. We haven't seen a fucking ball in play in 10, 15 minutes. And what also brings that along is the moments where there's dead time, stepping off, picking over, blah, 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 blah. So they're trying to condense that. And you have to understand, when we talk about the homework being done in the leagues, the lower leagues, Appalachian League, like it sucks, but you got to find somewhere to run these tests. And that is brutal, but it is what it is. And they're telling us it's 26 plus minutes being shaved off of these baseball games. with these rules instituted, with the pitch clock instituted. So there's no arguing that. What I find interesting about this is you're trying to create offense or incite, stealing and things like that. That's excitement in the game. That's action. I love that. Love every bit of that because that's how the game used to look. And so we're trying to find the happy medium between dudes who can hit the ball 700 fucking feet, throw it 105 miles an hour, and guys who are also very quick with the first step like we've never seen before. And what that looks like defensively, what that could look like on the base path, that's an exciting game. Fans want to see the hit and run. Fans want to see the stolen base. We know how fans react when they see a triple or an inside the park home run. All of that is action. All of that is fast paced. All of that is baseball moving at a rate that it just simply does not move today. So you have to give some extra thought to why that's happening. Now let's go to the shift. All right. Two guys on either side of the bag at all times with their feet on the dirt. In the minor leagues, if you can envision this, there's sort of a pie shape or a small miniature baseball field kind of cordoned off between second base where a guy is not allowed to stand in this area that is lined off. At the big league level, you conceivably could have your two middle infielders, your shortstop and your second baseman. You could have them playing directly up the middle, but one step on either side of the bag. That would be a legal setup. Both feet on the dirt, legal setup, because that is just the first baseman and the second baseman on the right side of the infield, and that is just the shortstop and the third baseman on the left side of the infield. And yes, you will be able to challenge whether or not a middle infielder is lined up incorrectly. Yes, you will be able to challenge that. So in the Appalachian League, I believe, or whatever league it is that they've been testing this, like I said, they have actual lines drawn on the field where players cannot stand. You can't start here. And that's a little farther away from the middle of the field than what the big league level will allow, which is right up the middle, just one step to either side of the bag. But we go a step further. If we're looking to speed the game up, we understand what offense does. Offense doesn't speed the game up. Offense slows the game down because there's more base runners. There's more traffic. That takes longer. So I'm interested to see how it all plays out. Like once you really get and I don't think we're really going to see how it works out maybe until 2-3 years into this. Our team's going to be willing to move guys along. Are they going to start trying to score more as opposed to just let that 3 true outcome effect take place?
It's going to be very interesting. Especially, like the banning of the defensive shift. I think the first place that your mind goes is that, all right, so your shortstop isn't going to be on the right side of the diamond. But think of all the second basemen that are essentially right fielder number 2.
Mm-hmm.
They have to start, that you can't be in the grass. You have your feet in the dirt.
And that's where the majority of your outs are made in the teeth of the shift for the left-handed hitters is the guy who's playing fucking rover.
Right.
So now go this route, Jared. Is it all good that I bring my right fielder all the way in and now I bring my left fielder over into the left center gap and I take my center fielder and put him in the right center gap?
That's what's going to happen.
You're goddamn right it's going to happen. Come on, buddy.
Yeah.
You're going to, those are absolutely. If you're okay with doing that, why? Because what you're saying is I'm going to force this hitter to put the ball in the air the other way. And if he's trying to do that, I don't know that I like his odds of powering me out of the ballpark consistently.
But you wouldn't need to, because if there's 3 outfielders in the right field, if they hit a fucking bloop to left, it's like at least a double. How it is now, it's like if you beat the shift, it's only going to be a single. So the consequence is much worse if all the outfielders are in like right and center.
The idea is you're being forced to keep 2 defenders on that side of the diamond now and not just one lonely shortstop or one lonely third baseman to make a play on that bloop into shallow left off the bat of a left-handed hitter. Your shortstop is now there,
but
instead
the
of
outfield
being in right field.
But on the new shift, if you move all your outfielders to the right field to make this new shift, because you can't do it with your infielders, you're going to leave left field open. And
no. That's why I said you're bringing the right fielder in, and then you're just moving the center fielder over to right center, and you're moving your left fielder over to left center. So it's not a complete and total vacation of left field or center field specifically. And Joey, I'm watching defenses play guys and defend our guys. Guys are lined up in left center, and guys are lined up in right center, and guys are lined up no doubles down the line in right field against right-handed hitters. And I see it against some of our lefties too. So that concession is already being made to an extent. Now, if you're telling me this is a loophole of sorts, because one thing you do run into is, all right, well, what if this guy hits a fucking low scud over that right fielder that you just brought in's head and it hits off the wall? Now what? Well, he's going to run for a long time. That's what.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's going to be interesting to see how teams find their loopholes, because that's baseball. You read the rules, you can choose to follow them or not. This one is not something that you can necessarily break. Like, there's no way to kind of like break that secretly, but there's going to be teams that try to think outside the box. The Tampa Bay Rays are going to be a team that they're going to be like, all right, well, we're the geniuses in the room, so this is how we do it. Like, we figured out the smartest way to work around this. But yeah, I think
the one thing that I haven't, go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, I'm more in line with kind of what Dallas was saying, where like people will just straight up ask you, do you like this or do you not like this? For me, I am more just intrigued to see how it goes. I don't know if I like it or if I don't like it. I need to see it first. I need to see like some results, a sample size of results before I'm like, this is kind of fucking stupid. Like I need to see it.
I've always been a fan of the like laissez-faire approach, hands off. Let the game just kind of do what it's going to do. But you have to have an understanding that things have to evolve. And with the pitch clock, the one thing that I was concerned with is that cat and mouse game, being able to control the running game. Well, that's honestly, when I say that out loud, I can hear me, and nobody's said this to me, but I know that it's true, and it fucking sucks that I've acknowledged this a long time ago. But when I talk about the pitch clock, I talk about the running game, and I talk about controlling the running game, eliminating the running game. And that's a great conversation for me to have with guys who played when I played. That's a great conversation for me to have with guys who played before I played. But that conversation falls deaf today, because guys are like, running game? What are you talking about? Nobody fucking steals. What do you mean, like defending my position? Do you mean like ending up in a fielding position after I throw? You know that doesn't work for everybody. That's not how everybody maximizes their potential physically. So what do you like? These are just foreign concepts to guys. Like, to actually shut down the running game, guys have to be exposed to being ran on and what that game looks like for them to know how important or how much they need to value that is. So until that starts happening, me looking at the pitch clock like it's going to fuck with guys is just an old dude looking at it through a lens that the game is not seen through today. So then I have to evolve and realize, well, these kids and these young folks who are watching the game, they want shit to move along. And if I understand that, I understand that we have to give them areas where this can be cleaned up. The pitch clock is an area where it can be cleaned up. The hitters not having 30 fucking seconds to walk up to the plate with their music, that's an area where it's going to be cleaned up. So
what is it? You're allowed 10 seconds now?
10.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Do you think infielders hate this? Because it's probably going to hurt their metrics. Like, if you're not positioned almost perfectly, if you're not allowed to be positioned perfectly,
it's going to turn it. It's going to turn it all on its head, right? Like you're basically taking all of the defensive metrics if they were in a book, and now you're just doing this. You're shaking it up, you're fucking emptying everything, and you're like, all right, ready, let's start again. Like you just built this awesome fucking awesome Lego set. Like you just threw together the Millennium Falcon in like an hour. And now they've come by and just fucking kicked it. And there's pieces everywhere. And you're like, I don't even know how to make sense of what just happened. Like I've been looking at this thing and admiring it. And well, now you're telling me I got to look at it completely differently. So that's another point of interest for me is how does that affect how we start to value players and what they do defensively? And don't even get me started on WAR and how that's going to impact that. I mean, we all know about the UZR. Trust me, if you've ever wanted to up the UZR, you sign with the Oakland A's if you're a corner infielder or a middle infielder. Why? Because with all that foul territory, you're going to be making plays in fucking right field on the bullpen mound, okay? Your UZR through the fucking roof. But what happens now? Do we have to start looking at the guys who can actually get to balls up the middle and valuing them a little differently? God damn it. Are we going to have athletes back in this fucking game? Is that what you're telling me?
That's what I'm thinking is like, you're now going to have more of a premium on those defensive shortstops.
Yeah. Sorry about the stray here for Dan Uggla. And I don't know that he ever won a Gold Glove, but and I don't know that he was a huge part of the shifting thing, but you're like, it's a big second baseman. You can just kind of stick over there. You're not too worried about what's popping off defensively, right?
Pretty much. Yeah. Forearms for days.
And I love every minute of that, dude. But I don't know why that name popped into my head because I think I'm thinking about him moving around, and I think about Francisco Lindor and the comment he made about wanting the athletes to be able to athlete.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm intrigued. Joe, how do you like if I mean obviously you have a nice little middle infield there, but like what do you think?
Fucking infield.
Yeah, you have a nice fucking team. Like what's your thoughts on the banning of the shift? Do you think it was even necessary?
I don't know. I feel like it's very up in the air. I mean, we don't really know what the big difference. I can't see it making that much of a difference as in terms of hurting any team specifically. If anything, it would probably.
You can't see the shift hurting anybody specifically. What about Matt Olson? Like think about Matt Olson being a power running back. And
if he's hitting, it's going to help him hitting.
Oh, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about. I thought we were talking about fielders. Like they can't shift, so now the defense is going to suck.
Oh, well, it's not like the shift. I think inherently challenges defenses. It doesn't make anybody better. This is just about who could react or who's going to be in a better position. Not literally, but who, as far as their roster is constructed, is going to be in a better position to perform under these new set of rules. Because it's not about creating an advantage for anybody. It's about creating a level playing field for everybody.
It's also my fuck because we rely so much on what you said, these like defensive metrics that are based like it's not even we're not even looking at players and watching them make plays where it's like, what does the number say? Who's the best shortstop?
Exactly. You watch
now there's no shift. Are they really going to be the best? Are they the quickest? And now it's going to be more about speed and how much ground they can cover. It's going to be like completely. I don't know how much of a difference, but it could be a completely different top 5 defensive shortstops.
Well, that's why in the outfield, when you look at a guy's average starting position and you look at their route efficiency, those are some things that can help you come to a conclusion on just how much better this guy is than other guys. Like, this is where he typically starts. This is where he makes plays. This is how far away he's making plays. Comparatively speaking, other players would need to line up here to be able to get to these balls.
Yeah, this whole thing, all this blows just doesn't make sense in my brain. Like, is there a guy like watching every single play on replay and like calculating how much ground they covered from where they started? Like, how did they even come up with this shit?
Well, yeah, absolutely. That's where the brain trusts come into play. Is you're not out there on the field actually measuring. I mean, I'm sure to an extent you are, because you could you could be able to formulate how many feet per second this individual is running. You can do that math on a screen, right? They do that, StatCast, feet per second, ground covered, route efficiency. They give you all that. So if you're an organization who gives a shit about valuing your players and understanding what you actually have, well, then you're probably doing some of that homework. I mean,
does StatCast cover that? I mean,
yeah,
I guess
that'd be like
it's not public though.
That'd be like Pablo Escobar not having a money counting machine. Like he
But
has
none-
all this fucking, like, I don't know what's here. A lot. There's a lot here.
But none of that data is public. You can't find that on Baseball Savant. Like how they
No,
give
that's
you the
a-
metrics, but
That's all in-house. That's what I'm talking about, is like that you're the software and the platform that is available to all of the people within the organization. Those are the things that they're looking at.
I know, but isn't that mind blowing? Watching,
No.
Yeah, it is, dude.
Well,
Shut
I
up.
mean,
Every single play, they're measuring how far they're going, where they start, where they ended. Like
well,
that
not
seems so
not every
fucking.
single play, but like you're,
And
you're-
how you- every single defensive out made, right? Or any single ball in play.
yes, every ball in play, I would assume, is measured.
It's like a lot of
Yeah.
math, a lot of shit
a
to
lot of-
keep track of.
Mm-hmm.
How many
That's
plays
why-
are there a year?
That's why the teams that don't employ a lot of those people, the people that they do employ, walk around looking like fucking zombies because they're living on nothing but Dunkin' and Starbucks and a bad fucking bagel. And they're just crushing numbers all day, all night, crushing graphs, crushing linears, just doing it all. And other teams that put a lot of stock into that and have a lot of folks working that, well, that's where I think you see real progress made, because a lot of the responsibilities are divided and an organization can really focus. Like if I've got 3 people dialed in on how this dude moves to his left, as opposed to 3 people taking care of my outfielders, infielders, and pitchers, it's right. We're in a little different boat there.
God, bro.
There's still one more rule change that I want to get to, but this
The
also
most
feels
important
like
rule change.
it could be. But this also feels like a place that we could pivot to Joe Maddon's comments as well. So it's almost like one of those storybooks where you can pick what door you want to open. Do you want to talk about the bases being bigger? Or do you want to talk about what Joe Maddon had to say about analytical people?
Go, you pick, Joe.
I mean, the bases are getting bigger. We get.
I mean, the bases are getting bigger, man.
It's gonna be that
Fuck is
wild.
going on out?
It's gonna be a new sport, dude. I'm not even gonna know what I'm watching. What is this? Football?
I blame it on global warming. The environment's getting hotter. The bases are fucking growing right before our very eyes.
Mm-hmm. It's a.
I mean, the whole point.
Honestly.
The whole point of the base is getting bigger. You're trying to avoid collisions at first base, and according to Bob Nightingale, people are fucking clamoring for more stolen bases. They want to see more stolen bases.
Oh, I thought you were going to just say bigger bases in general. Everyone wants
That's
that.
right.
People
what I
are
said at the
clamoring
beginning
for
of
more
this.
stolen bases. So if first base and second base are bigger, then that's 4 less inches that you have to travel. I mean, how many bang
4.5
plays at second base come down to, it's game of inches? Well, now you have 4 inches to play with. So how many of those out calls are now safe calls because you've got 4.5 inches to work with? So the people that are clamoring for more stolen bases, guess what you're about to get? More stolen bases.
Probably about 10 more next year.
Yeah. You want to know what's great is none of the numbers tell you that there's going to be more stolen bases because we made them bigger.
Yeah, it's a
No.
safety thing. It's just a safety thing.
It's definitely a safety thing. And I guess, I've seen some data. I don't have it handy, but that collisions at first base have gone down, whatever it was, like 36% because of this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, it's a double-edged sword because let me tell you something. When they banned taking out the players at second and shit, people started going head first more, caused more injuries.
Well, you see it at home plate now. Guys go head first all the time. A lot more than they ever have. And that's because the running lane has been taken away. Guys are still apprehensive to do it because some catchers, heat of the moment, ball takes you into the lane, you drop a knee. Sorry about your fucking shoulder, hang with them. They don't want to go through that. So they still go feet first. But I see a lot of guys, and I talk to guys, they're like, yeah, man, I know that dude can't just set up shop there. So I can get my body as far off to the side, and as long as I can touch home plate, I'm good to go. Especially if that guy can't even cross the third baseline. Like he can't even set up there. Think about how much more space I can create as a runner if I can go head first or even, like kind of feet first, but way off to the side, hook slide with the hunt. Like, yeah, world of possibilities. But the bases, like I've said this, and I mean, it's fun to entertain it, but I don't know that it can happen at the big league level or even the professional level, just because I think there could be some funky plays that happen. But like in slow pitch softball, the orange base, the orange bag at first base, where the runner hits the orange bag, the fielder plays on the white bag, and that's what you do.
Yeah, literally the only reason they don't do that is because that's for girls. Is that why wouldn't they have two bases?
My brain started to think about plays coming from the outfield, guy getting back to the bag, and he's like moving around and he's trying to get to the, he ends up getting to the orange bag first, but you've lost a replay, and so you can't challenge that. Like everybody sees it, like, I don't know, like just crazy funky stuff. And your answer would be, well, everybody knows that you have to touch the white bag when we're talking about getting back to the bag or blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, they're not good answers as to why it shouldn't be a thing. Those are just some of the reasons that I've come up with.
The bases, man.
It's all about the bases.
Go on
all
for
about
hours.
That base. All about that base. Now, Trout.
My God. Okay.
What's Uncle Joe got
If you're
to
like
say?
me, and there's a foreign language that you regret not learning in school, for me, it was Spanish. I didn't pay attention. Great Spanish teacher. I just didn't care enough to pay attention. It's never too late to start with Babbel. Babbel is the language learning app that sold more than 10 million subscriptions. Thanks to Babbel's addictively fun and easy bite-sized language lessons, you can finally cross learning that new language off your list. So that's my off-season assignment. I know people think I won't do it, but I'm going to do it. Actually,
then if
speaking
you're
of
going to do that,
off-season,
I'm holding you to that. Spring training, we're going to a Mexican restaurant in Scottsdale, Arizona, and you're going to order in Spanish for everybody.
Yeah, hold me to that. I've been wanting to learn a baseline of
You're not going to
Spanish.
be allowed. There's going to be a day where you're not going to be allowed to fucking eat or drink unless you can do it in Spanish. Unless you can get all of everything you need in Spanish. That's it. Sorry.
Well, also, we may not. What would come first? I guess spring training would come
fingers
first.
in Spanish, because I got the pollo thing. But yo quiero the pollo fingers. Do you tango? Do you tango? No.
There's going to be multiple opportunities for that because we'll be at spring training, but then also we'll be in Miami for the World Baseball Classic in March.
Bienvenido.
Yeah. So I almost need to learn Spanish.
Yeah.
Also, I'm going to Austin, Texas for my first vacation in half a decade.
What are you doing
This
in
November.
Austin, Texas?
Just getting the fuck out of here. I know what you're thinking. Oh, who's he know in Austin, Texas? Literally, one of my best friends from home moved to Austin, Texas in like 2012 and just never came back. And he's been asking me to come visit him ever since then. And I'm like, yeah, definitely. Never gone to visit him. So me, a couple of my buddies, we're gonna go get an Airbnb. Yeah, that's my vacation plans.
See you there.
Yeah, I'll see you there. But with Babbel, you only need 10 minutes to complete a lesson. That's it, 10 minutes. So you can start having real life conversations in a new language in as little as 3 weeks. I've got like 3 months. I've several months. October, November, December, January, February. I got 5 months. I can learn in 3 weeks. Other language learning apps use AI for their lesson plans, but Babbel lessons were created by over 150 language experts and voiced by real native speakers, not computers. Their teaching method has been scientifically proven to be effective. With Babbel, you can choose from 14 different languages, including Spanish, French, Italian, and German. Plus, Babbel's speech recognition technology helps you improve your pronunciation and accent. There are so many ways to learn with Babbel. In addition to lessons, you can access podcasts, games, videos, stories, and even live classes. Plus, it comes with a 20-day money-back guarantee. Start your new language learning journey today with Babbel. Right now, when you purchase a 3-month Babbel subscription, you'll get an additional 3 months for free. So you get 6 months for the price of 3. Yeah. Just go to Babbel.com, Babbel, Babbel.com. Use the promo code Jared, Jared.
Babbel.
Once again, that is Babbel.com, promo code Jared, Babbel.com, promo code Jared, Jared.
I feel
I'm
like
dead serious about this. I'm dead fucking serious about this.
We should be taking a test at the beginning of the season next year to see who was invested in Babbel, who did their work. And we're gonna, like, there's no reason that we can't be a bilingual podcast.
Yeah, I think we could.
Well,
No, Joey, get your shit together. Babbel exam, spring training. We will have, it's going to happen. I'm telling you right now, it's going to happen. We're going to get a teacher, a Spanish teacher from a local high school in Arizona to come out and administer a test, or we'll go there and have the test administered. Yes. Done. Mm-hmm.
Do you believe in my ability to learn the Spanish language?
No.
Why not?
Not at all.
Put it this way, and this is an undeniable fact. Pretty much everything.
Undeniable, though.
Undeniable fact. Pretty much everything that I've ever hoped to accomplish in my life, I have accomplished outside of being able to grow 2 inches, which is not something that you can put effort towards. Everything that you can realistically hope to accomplish in life, if I put my mind to it, I've done it. So why, and I'm telling you that I'm motivated to learn that. This is not like, oh yeah, it's an ad deal, so like he's just going to do it for the ad deal. No. I want to learn the Spanish language because of how many Spanish speaking players are in Major League Baseball. I feel like it would make them more comfortable if I was able to speak their language versus expecting them to speak to me in English if they're not comfortable doing that.
Well, that's a fact, but you should also be doing it for the nookie, because being bilingual.
When we go to Miami,
buddy. Oh, buddy. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you've got a little, I think you could probably pass for a little Spanish flair if you just don't talk. You get lined up nice and tight, facial hair wise. You get teed up on that hairline. Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna get a nice little V-neck.
Yeah, but you just can't talk. Don't say anything, and yeah, like we could pass you off. Like it'd be kind of like a Weekend at Bernie's thing.
Yeah,
for sure. Like this is my homie Raul. For sure.
Yeah, I could do that. If you don't believe in me, that's fine. But you're going to be wrong.
You're going to have to get a little tan, though.
I tan.
And that's not it's not a race thing. You're just so fucking white.
So is Pitbull.
I feel like he tans.
No, he's pale as fuck.
Where did I just see him? I feel like I just saw him on stage where he was fucking glossed over. Like just a great base, a good head tan, am I thinking about somebody different?
The Rock?
No, really? The
Sammy
fucking Rock
Sosa?
and Pitbull. I'm not getting fucking The Rock and Pitbull mixed up here.
I mean, we're talking about tan ball guys. He was just at the Rams game. He did the intro to the Rams opening night.
But I just saw a thing with Pitbull on stage where he had
very pale.
Well, I didn't see his body. I just saw his fucking head. That's why I was.
I'm just saying, notoriously a very pale individual.
Is he?
Jake, is Pitbull tan or pale?
He's super pale.
He's super pale, Dallas.
What the fuck am I thinking about then?
I don't know who you're thinking of, but it's definitely not Pitbull.
See, like
if anyone was like, "Hey,"
I'm pulling up right here. Like, look, one of them he looks fucking tan as fuck. The other one he looks white as fuck.
Yeah, no, he's very much notoriously pale.
Yeah, see, like this guy right here. That guy is not pale.
That's a fake tan. That's fake tanner.
Fuck,
you can tell.
Okay, so that's just.
I have fake tanner too.
Well, you're gonna need to put some on, is what I'm saying.
All right, fine.
You're gonna get run out there. You're gonna get sunburned, is what I'm getting at, and you're gonna.
No. Once I turned 32, I started using sunscreen.
Oh,
I learned my lesson during.
Well, I don't know how the self tanner and the sunscreen things work out. You might want to do some
works out fine
on that.
No, works out fine. The barn burner last summer, like I got so burnt from that the tan line burn line did not go away for almost a full calendar year. So ever since then, I've been very cognizant about my sunscreen application.
All right, well, just don't fuck that up.
Joey, you think I can learn Spanish?
See.
Yeah, that's right. See?
Joey's halfway there.
That's what I'm saying. I need a fucking team of supporters around me. You're obviously not going to lead that charge.
I just motivate differently. That's all. See, if you get to the mountaintop in spite of me, Jared, I'll see you there. And I can't wait.
I'll see you there. I can't wait. It's gonna be glorious.
Como se dice, no chance.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna do it. See, I already understood what you just said. All right. We mentioned it earlier. Joe Maddon was on, what was this? The Athletic podcast?
The Athletic podcast.
Yeah, and he's coming for those geeks. He's not a big fan of geeks in his dugout or in his clubhouse. So here's Joe Maddon on the Athletic baseball show.
You have to be philosophically aligned. You have to be able to disagree. You have to be able to argue. And you have to be, as a manager, left alone also when the game begins. Because if groups only want middle managers, I'm not going to fit anymore. I won't. And I get that. And that's fine. I mean, there's nothing I can do about that. But if somebody wants somebody that actually manages and has an understanding of how a game runs and the ebb and flow of the game and has experience, then I'll be the person for that group. So again, I got to wait and see how this is received. And I think that's going to give me direction moving forward. And then I'm absolutely open to conversations. Listen, I've been so passionate about this game for so many years. And to be sitting here right now and not even wanting to watch it on television, I'm trying to figure out, what does that mean? I don't know what that means. Meaning that, am I through with this? Am I done with this? Have I lost interest in this? Do I not like the product? I mean, what does this mean? And so I'm just trying to give it time. And I'm just trying to not be over analytical of myself. I like to eyes open, ears open. Don't open your mouth too much and just see. Let that all seep in, and eventually I'll come to some conclusion.
I don't know what the fucking Hawaiian drums were in the back there.
No, those are bongos. Those are bongos. Those are not Hawaiian. Those are bongos.
Yeah. The quote attached to the tweet was not in that clip, but Jason Stark tweeted it out. And the quote was, "I want analytical people on my staff, but I don't want them in the dugout. I don't want them in the clubhouse." I don't know. I mean, that as a very pro Joe Maddon podcast, if you've been listening to Baseball is Dead from the beginning, you know that we're very pro Joe Maddon. And that clip made me a little sad. That, I mean, he's trying to say, I don't know what this means. I think he knows what it means. I think he's still bitter. I think he's probably still hurt that the Angels fired him essentially because of a losing streak. I don't think that it was a matter of, this isn't the guy to lead us. This isn't someone that fits what we're trying to do here. I think it was a matter of, All right. We as an organization are kind of a joke. Is that too
They are
extreme?
a rudderless ship. That
But
is
they
not
are
too
kind of the
extreme at
butt
all.
end of most, like when you make an organizational incompetence joke, how often in today's baseball circles does that lead back to the Angels?
Yeah, there's a lot of talk about what has gone on and what hasn't been able to happen in Anaheim
Right.
for a very long
I
time.
think a lot of the Angels' failures, you are not necessarily able to tie back to Joe Maddon. And I had this conversation with
a tough 10, 12 years for the Angels, for sure.
Yeah. So I had this conversation with Tony Maz last week. And I said, because he was asking me, the Red Sox are going to finish in last place. Do you think that Alex Cora is on the hot seat? And I said that the same way that we used to look at a starting pitcher that won 20 games and be like, there's your Cy Young award. How does he not win the Cy Young? He won 20 games. That's just not how we think anymore. But we did somewhat recently. We thought that way. With managers, you're asking me, is Alex Cora on the hot seat because the Red Sox are going to finish in last place? In recent baseball history, if a team finished in last place, big payroll, big expectations, but did not perform, the first thing you do, boom, fire the manager. Like, that's just what you did. Like, that's the guy that has to go if the team sucks. Now, I think baseball fans have always been credited as being like a smarter breed of sports fan. But I think baseball fans are even smarter now than they've ever been. So I think if you're a baseball fan, you can look at the Angels, you can look at a team like the Red Sox and be like, all right, well, yeah, they're in last place. And yeah, they've been disappointing, but it's not the manager's fault. Like, we can look at roster construction. That would be the general manager. We can look at injuries, which is it is what it is. You don't just look at a team that's in last place and say, boom, fire the manager, and that'll fix everything. And with the Angels, I feel like that's what they did. They were like, hey, we just lost 12 straight games, fire the manager. That's not going to fucking fix it.
And it's not necessarily bitterness, and it is bitterness at the same time. And you know what? I'm tired of living in a fucking world where Joe Maddon is not allowed to be bitter about feeling like there was a knee-jerk reaction made to a tough spot in a season, especially when Joe Maddon has the experience that he's had. Let's not forget that Mike Trout was not playing at that time, right? Mike Trout was injured during that streak.
Yeah,
I believe that's correct.
He missed
part of it, not the whole thing.
Yeah.
But he was, part of it. So you're also going through that tough spot where they felt like you as the manager weren't getting it done, and you didn't have arguably the best player in baseball. So he's probably thinking that impacts it as well. Because if we can all agree that Mike Trout's presence can change a game, then I don't know how you don't give Joe Maddon the benefit of the doubt there.
And also, before that losing streak, the Angels were one of the bright stories of the start of the season. Everyone was like, damn.
We were so hyped.
Like the Angels are they're off to a great start. Is this the year that they get to the playoffs? And then things fell apart quickly. But as much of a 12-game losing streak sucks, it's quite the knee-jerk reaction to fire your manager.
What Joe Maddon is saying is there's absolutely a place for the numbers in the game that have become so prevalent in the game today. There's a place for that. That is valuable. It's important, especially organizationally, when we talk about assessing and evaluating who we are from top to bottom, roster resource-wise. If we're not into the analytics, we're fucking ourselves. He knows that. He also knows that when we start to allow that train of thought, those numbers and that algorithm, we allow that to start to infiltrate and take on a larger presence in the real-time dugout on the actual, and I hate to use this phrase, but on the actual battlefield, on the actual playing field. Like, you got to know that there's a balance there. That's what Joe Maddon is saying. And he's saying sometimes the folks who help me break this stuff down in the offseason, sometimes the folks who help us figure out what route we're going with a certain player based on the numbers we've been taking away and the data we've been collecting, sometimes those folks are just in the way in the dugout and are in the way in the clubhouse as I'm getting ready to get our club ready to go out and perform on the field.
Mm-hmm.
He's saying these guys, these girls, these folks, these people, they've got a spot up here in the top of this building, and it's up there for a reason. I'll say this. Any team that can figure out how to marry those two, how to identify somebody who knows what they're talking about when it comes to the data and knows what they're talking about when it comes to what's going on in between the lines, the team that can bridge that gap the best are the teams that are going to find more success combining analytics and real-time baseball feel. Though that's just a fact. That's just a fact. Because if you value the numbers and you think they have a place and you value the institutional knowledge and you think that has a place, then you are all ears when it comes to ideas on how to bring those together. And if you are realizing time and time again, there's a balking from one group, the institutional knowledge side, at bringing in the analytical side down to the institutional knowledge side, you got to pay attention to that. You got to think about that, and you got to try to come to a conclusion as to why. And if it's just a matter of the message being convoluted, hey, I can't trust the numbers people to deliver that information in a baseball sense, because maybe the numbers people don't know what it's like to play with a guy who's in an 0 for 18 skid with 14 punch outs. And you might not know when you need to go up to that guy and say what you need to say. You might not have that feel because you've had your head in a book or a calculator your whole life, and you haven't been on a baseball field and in a clubhouse the whole time. So you're just trying to help because that's what you do, and you've got information, but it's coming across at the wrong time, the wrong way, and you're not at fault for that. You just don't know. You just don't have that experience. And that's what Joe Maddon is kind of hinting at. And for him to be as frustrated as he is, why is he not allowed to be frustrated about that? Why does it have to be perceived as him being bitter or as him bitching? Like, oh, you're just bitter because you got fired, bro. Well, why is he not allowed to go, well, you know what? When you step back and look at why I got fired, it's pretty fucking ridiculous when you think about it.
I don't think
but
it's
then
like
he takes
bitter has to be a negative connotation, though.
He also he like, I don't know, that I listened to this whole podcast and he released his interview, and he's making a lot of these points about anti-analytics and like spreading around the baseball world, because I think Angels kind of fucked him over, and they used analytics to like sign all these players who suck, and used analytics, and it backfired because they have like the worst roster construction in the league. So obviously he probably doesn't trust the analytics department. But then to be like, oh, well, now it's like unwatchable because of analytics, it just doesn't. I feel like I don't think it changes that much compared to, like, it's not that much different of a game watching on TV because of analytics.
Coming from where, that's where I think he's talking about, I'm coming from a place where the game didn't look like this before. And I've been a part of the game as it's evolved into what it is now. And Joey, this happens a lot. Sometimes the people that are a part of the entity that is evolving aren't the best judges of what's going to be best for the game or what's really wrong, quote unquote, with the game. And that's because you're in it. You can't see the forest through the trees kind of thing, right? Like if you're in the middle of it and you haven't been able to zoom out and gather perspective from outside looking in, then you just have a skewed view. And that's where Joe Maddon has been. His entire life, he's been in the middle of this. And he's been in the middle of it as the game has evolved. So now he's at a point where he's not in the middle of the game, and the game is still evolving, dare I say, as rapidly as it ever has, especially with these rule changes coming into play. So that's what Joe's talking about. This game looks very different to me than it ever has. And it's like, well, hey, Joe, can we realize that you're looking at it very differently than you ever have in the last 40 fucking years, probably, because you're watching it on television. Let's start there. But now that he's actually watching it on television, the game is different. Because, Joey, I have guys all the time. They'll say, wow, watching that, very different. And they mean watching themselves or watching their product as a whole. Instead of watching it from the dugout, watching it on the field unfold, it's a completely different way to consume it. And so Joe is seeing this differently than he ever has. He came from a school where you hit and ran, where you stole bases, where you weren't valuing or doing the homework to place value on whether or not you want to trade the out for 90 feet or the risk of. So he's now evolved with the game as they've placed value on that and said, we're not going to steal. We're actually going to tell you to tell the center fielder for you that we want him to play back farther so that he doesn't dive for shit anymore. Because we'd rather have him taking balls away in the gap than laying out for shit. Because if he hurts himself, he can't do for us what we need him to do offensively. So he's been a part of that whole evolution. And it just looks different to him now. Doesn't mean it's bad. Just looks different.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that Joe Maddon lands on his feet somewhere because I think there's definitely still a place for guys like him in the game. It's just like the point that I was trying to make earlier, saying like I don't think it's a negative thing to say like I'm bitter, where it's like people be like, oh, he's salty. It's like I think it's okay to be bitter, especially when you have, I would assume, the public perception, the majority public perception is on your side, especially like the Angels fan base. Like the Angels fan base, if you were to poll them, hey, did Joe Maddon get a raw deal? They were probably, yeah. Anytime that I've tweeted about Joe Maddon since his firing, a majority of the replies from Angel fans are like, yeah, like I don't know why the fuck we fired him because
their record is worse. Their record is
way worse.
I was just going to say, I was just going to ask, at what point in time, because they fired him early, right? When did he get fired?
It was like May.
So
June, yeah,
June.
So you mean to tell me that there hasn't been a lull like that in the season since then?
The bulk of their season has been a lull since his fire.
Then why isn't the move made again?
I mean, when's the last time a team fired two managers in the same year?
I don't know. But this is my whole fucking point, though.
Put Ohtani as the manager.
Does Phil Nevin have the interim tag?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, if you're, what are you going to do? Fire your interim manager to hire another interim manager? Like, you're not going to hire a manager.
But what it does is it just showcases that's my whole point. It showcases how fucking ridiculous the move was.
Yeah, I mean, look at it from Joe Maddon's
how short-sighted it was.
I totally get why he's anti-analytics. I mean, if the frickin' front office is telling him to make managerial moves, and it's the same front office that use these numbers to like sign Rendon to these crazy contracts.
Yeah.
Josh Hamilton, Albert Pujols, like they make mistake after mistake, and then they're going to tell you like, yeah, you got to do this. That would piss anyone off.
What it's like, Jared, is that would be like walking up to Stephen Hawking and going, hey, dude, I got this seat. I got this seat on this idiot train over here. You want to get on it? He's like, no, do you know, like, what? No, it's called an idiot train.
That's not how he talks at all.
Like, I don't want to get on your idiot train. Why? Come on. You've seen how we roll. You've seen how we put this thing together. He's like, right. And I do not want to get on that idiot train and ride with you. Why would I do that? And that's what Joe Maddon is saying. He's like, I've watched what you have done. I've watched how you built this fucking house. And you want me to buy it? Like, you're in hurricane territory. And you're trying to sell me on this thing? Like, no chance. No chance I'm buying this.
I get what Jim Madden's saying. I just think it's a reach to say that like the sport as a whole has become like unwatchable because of analytics. I think there's a lot more probably inner things going on that makes an individual like or not like to watch something that has less to do with like logical reasons, less hit and runs. It's probably.
But so all of that though, Joey, falls under the umbrella of analytics impacting the game. Why are we not hitting and running as much? Because the numbers and the algorithms have led us there. Why are we not stealing as much? Because the numbers and the algorithms have led us there. There's another word we call those. Those are called analytics. And that's what has led us to watching the game play out the way it has today, the way the game plays out today. So what are you blaming? Are you blaming fat base runners for not stealing?
I'm blaming like him. I'm blaming like just like if you asked him like 40 years ago, what do you love about baseball? He wouldn't be like hit and run, man. Steals.
We don't
That's
know.
what I like.
Well, I maybe we need to get him on and ask him that question.
I think as humans, do we like and dislike things for reasons we're not even aware of?
For sure.
So
majority of them is because we don't understand them because we are scared of them.
Yeah, it's just maybe he has some like negative associations with baseball at the moment. He got fired, embarrassed, got a mohawk. You know what I'm saying? It's just human shit. Not as fun to watch it.
For sure.
To say like analytics is ruining everything, it's unwatchable. Like it's a reach.
That's why I kind of gave you the examples that I gave you, because you fired off with there's no hitting and running, and that's why I say, well, why isn't there any hitting and running?
Analytics.
So Joe is like, just based on those two examples, he's nailing it on the head as far as his explanation. And you might not like to hear it, but he's giving you his opinion. And I've kind of given you some ideas to think about that may be supporting his opinion. So it's not about him being right or wrong. I'm just, again, perspective. This is a dude who was a part of the game before it became what it is today. And if he can finally, for the first time, have a chance to sit back and watch it, and he might be thinking to himself, oh, here's a moment where I would, but you know what? I couldn't do that because the guys upstairs are not giving me the option to do that. And now that conversation starts to happen over and over and over in your head. To your point, Joey, he's removed from the game and he's seeing and he's like, you know what? Well, fuck, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I'm willing to bet though. And can't prove this. If there was hit and runs right now and everyone was hitting and running, Joe Maddon would watch it and probably still feel the similar way. Honestly,
he'd be like, why are they doing that? Why are they giving away the out? Why are they doing? Don't they know that they can maximize? You're absolutely right. I've always said that you look hard enough on the fucking internet and you're going to find somebody that'll tell you that water ain't wet.
I mean, look at all the things going around, like Ohtani, two-way player. That's not entertaining. Jaron Judge hitting 1 billion home runs, not entertaining. Pujols, all these things, and like to say, oh, but there's no hit and run. Analytics is ruining everything. I just resent that sentiment. That's just my.
I appreciate that.
2 cents when it just comes off as kind of like a. Back in my day, I mean, sure, yeah, you probably liked baseball more in the 80s. You probably liked your life more in the 80s when you were young and like fucking. I think that.
Are you just fucking down in Joe's life right now?
I just think it's like the natural way the world gets, dude. People get old and it's like just things aren't as good. But it doesn't mean.
Are you trying to put Joe in a retirement home right now?
No, Joe's, dude. I'll have Joe be my. Look, we got Brian Snicker as the manager of the Braves. I love the old guys.
Well, you just called him an old delusional fuck, basically. That doesn't deserve to manage baseball.
Well, if he's gonna go around all the podcasts and go to MLB Network and be like, "It's shit's not like it used to be," type shit. Like, I'm just saying, I don't really think that's true. I don't think it's. I think there's probably deeper things going around. What makes someone like something and not like something? It's probably not analytics that's ruining your viewing experience. Could be a small part of it, but there's more things at play, I would say.
Guess we'll never know.
Yeah. Damn. Dallas, you're on TikTok, right?
I have the talk.
You ever see those little ads for the virtual reality hitting thing?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. For the VR headsets?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, guess what?
What?
Today we're going to talk to you about Win Reality.
Give it to me.
The VR baseball training application available on the MetaQuest 2 that gives players access to unlimited game speed reps no matter where they are. And you can even use your own bat if you want. They sent me one. I'm very excited. I promised Jake I wouldn't unbox it and try it for the first time until he was there to film it. Because I want the full experience of me trying to figure out how it works first. And then once I have it figured out, then I'm going to be taking some gangster hacks in my living room.
This is what's really cool about where we're at now as opposed to where we used to be, because the place we used to be at failed to put forth the video that we had of you hitting and of me pitching, which would have landed us in the Win Reality database, which would have had you being able to face me in the Win Reality database. But
really,
believe it or not, Jared, the ball was dropped. There was some miscommunication that occurred between our friends at Win and some other folks.
No way.
But now we're here today. Ball? Absolutely. Yeah. Imagine that. Imagine a swing and a miss. Huh?
Wow.
Yeah.
No, that never happened.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine that.
That's crazy. So here's the deal. The Win Reality pitcher library consists of 600 plus pitches from 8 and under to pro. Imagine me facing an 8-year-old just fucking cranking a tank.
Oh, I'm sure that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, throw that slop up here. Just absolutely paste it. From the release, the spin, to the speed, hitters get a chance to study every pitch and then hit in the real game. Win Reality gives players of all levels a variety of workouts that are focused on pitch recognition, timing, and decision making. Win Reality is used by a majority of Major League Baseball teams, including the National League MVP front runner, Paul Goldschmidt.
Yeah.
It's used by hundreds of colleges across the nation. Hitters love it. Coaches rave about it. Parents love what it has done for their players' enjoyment of baseball. Win Reality isn't a game. It's a revolutionary tool that improves hitting in the real game of baseball. In season, off season, and in any weather, hitters can see increased confidence and improved at the plate. Win Reality allows players to train anywhere, anytime against game speed pitches their coaches and teammates cannot replicate at practice. Train in here, improve their game out there. Players who train with Win Reality report 43% confidence at the plate. Players who train with Win Reality acquire skills 7 times faster than traditional training methods. So right now, for you, you want to get in on this, and I'm going to make a video. They didn't ask me to do this. This was not part. This was not part of it. I want to get in there, and I want to see what it's all about, and I'll report back. Honest review. But if you want to get on the action, head to winreality.com/dead to sign up today. That is win, as you would expect it to be, WIN, reality.com/dead, DEAD, to sign up today. I'm excited to get in the mix there. That's going to be
going to get owned virtually.
No, I don't think so. I think I'm going to do great at it. You disagree?
I need you facing the high school kids.
Yeah, I mean, I don't give a fuck. I'll hit a home run off anybody.
That's just
baseball's easy, dude.
That's what a lot of folks are saying.
Yeah, remember when Manny Machado? Who did they fucking lose to? Was it the Dodgers? Yeah, they lost to the Dodgers, and then Manny Machado got asked if he was worried about it, and he was like, "No." And they're like, "Why?" And he said, "Because I'm Manny fucking Machado," which I said was kind of cringe at the time.
Well,
just an update on Manny. Since he said, "Because I'm Manny fucking Machado," this was back on August 8th. He's hitting 347 with a 398 on base, a 669 slugging percentage, a 195 weighted runs created plus, and leads the National League in FWAR since he said that.
Well,
So he backed it up. He backed it up.
Well, he still today is absolutely Manny fucking Machado.
Yeah, no, there's no one that was
That
going to
checks
tell him
out.
that he wasn't Manny motherfucking Machado.
Still checks out.
Yeah, no, he is. That was always going to be true.
Just quietly plugging along, doing Manny fucking Machado type shit,
Statistically, the
everybody else
best
to
player in the
join
league
in.
since he said that.
waiting for everybody else to join in.
I mean, if you're Manny, are you frustrated or does he not give a fuck? He's like, if I'm just out here being the best, then like it is what it is.
Well, you got to be frustrated because you showed up here thinking that.
You would be
Going to
frustrated.
the
Put
postseason.
yourself in Manny Machado's brain,
Oh,
who thinks differently.
Don't say it, dude.
What?
You don't think he's... Did you just see him scream at Tatis last year? You don't think he wants to win?
No, I'm not saying he doesn't want to win. I'm just saying that
I don't care. They suck. I don't care. We suck. Look at me.
I'm not saying he
hitting
doesn't
really good.
care. I'm not saying he doesn't care. They're technically a playoff team. But I think that there's something to be said in how his brain is wired, where it's like, we're not going to win the division. We're a playoff team. You guys traded for Soto. He's kind of sucked since he got here. I don't know, kind of been the best player in the league since I said I'm Manny motherfucking Machado. Like, I feel like there's got to be a little something of that. Like, instead of just being like, come on, guys, like, let's go. It's like, what do you want from me? Like, I'm the fucking best player in the team. I'm the best player in the league.
well, that's why I'm saying he's saying like, hey, somebody, anybody.
Yeah, like I'm doing it. And this has been all year. This hasn't just been
that
since
doesn't
whatever it
lead
was,
me
August
to
8th.
believe that he doesn't want to fucking win or that he's like, whatever.
I didn't say
we're
that.
terrible.
I did
I'm
not
great,
say
though.
that he
Fuck
doesn't
yeah.
care about winning. I didn't say he doesn't care about
You
winning. I'm
insinuated
saying
it heavily.
no. I said that his line of thinking is probably there is some comfort in, all right, everyone else sucks, but like I am the best player on the team. Like, you can't blame me.
Yeah, it's better to lose if you're the best player in the league. It's worse to lose if you... It's worse for Juan Soto than Manny Machado. You're right, Jared. But you're coming after his character.
I'm not coming after his character.
I know what you're doing.
I'm not coming after his character.
Because he hurt fucking Pedroia one time. Whatever. Get over it.
No.
Get the fuck over it. All right. It's Manny fucking
That-
Machado. He's the
I
only
get
player.
people. That's not even true. I get people like Red Sox fans tweeting me all the time for blowing Machado. They're like,
Oh.
"What? Like he ended Pedroia's career. How could you tweet his highlights?" I'm like, "Because I'm over it." Like, if Pedroia's not mad about it, then why are you?
I mean, that's how quickly Jared will absolutely turn on a organizational icon. So that's not something that you should.
If
be
Pedroia
surprised
is not
with,
mad
Jared.
about it, why
That's
would I
not
be mad
something
about
that
it?
should shake
Nope.
you.
Nope.
in the
You're not going to
leagues.
bait me there. Not
Jared
going to bait me
jumped
there.
That ship
Nope.
ASAP.
If
First one
Pedroia still
into
held
the
the grudge, then
lifeboat.
I would still hold the grudge.
That's how
But he
quick
doesn't
it'll
hold the
jump
grudge, so I'm over it. Yeah.
So this is
Still in the
this
World
isn't
Series
new.
anyway. Machado was the last out.
So he is the only player to go to San Diego and not get worse.
Yeah, I guess.
So does that mean he's the reason why everyone gets worse? he's the only guy who didn't get worse. Maybe it's his fault somehow.
Manny's
Is
just
there no other
drawing you in.
example?
What about? how's
Well, I
Brandon
guess
Drury doing?
Tatis. Terrible.
Hey, hater.
Yeah, that one's bad.
No. All right.
Blake Snell.
he's doing better. He's having a good stretch right now.
Clev.
No. Not for club.
I mean, no one's gotten demonstrably better.
You
Yeah,
just say it. No one's as bad.
Josh
as
Bell
Juan
has
Soto.
gotten much worse. It's not just Soto. Bell's been terrible.
Luke Voigt.
I mean, they sent that poor motherfucker to DC.
Yeah, I was gonna say I just saw Luke Voigt with the Nats.
Is that crazy?
That may be the biggest example of things not going well as a San Diego Padre when you don't even get to live it out as a Padre. They're like, no.
I was thinking about this today, and I'm pretty sure I'm almost guaranteeing this to be true. Like, since Juan Soto got traded from the Nats, he still has the highest selling jersey of any Nats player. From that day on until today, he sold more jerseys.
Still buying the fucking Soto Nats jersey.
Who else would they buy?
He's gonna come back.
They're probably all on clearance. You could probably get a Juan Soto Nats jersey for like $35.
I was thinking about
that
this.
Thing signed later down the road, and you never know. Hey, yeah, it was signed. So I got it signed in 2036. Who cares? It doesn't matter. He was a Nat. Fucking.
Hey, he's a World Series champion with the Nats.
That's what I'm saying. You get the jersey now, and maybe a fan that's growing up like, oh yeah, you want some.
Yeah, remember 2019? That was sick.
I want one of those.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Can we talk about Albert Pujols, please?
Yeah, we can. He really did not want to be associated with ARod for very long.
He listened. We said it. If you're going to do this, can you do it? And can you not fuck around and linger and be tied with this asshole? Just do what you need to do and put yourself one above so we can just not even have the conversation. Thank you, Albert. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for doing that. Didn't take long. 697.
Albert Pujols. And the thing about Albert is everyone's like, yeah, well, they're just putting him in there against lefties. No, 697 was against a righty, and it was in the 9th inning, and it was for the lead. Like, he's not just, they're not just like putting him in garbage time to like, yeah, all right, we're up, like put Albert in against some fucking trash lefty. Like, no, the home run that he hit for 697 was against the righty in the 9th inning to give the Cardinals a 1-run lead, which ultimately would not be the game-winning homer. But at the time, like, if all goes according to plan, that's the game-winning homer. And he had a fucking a clutch base hit up the middle or double, whatever it was, when he hit the 696.
Yeah.
Like, he's just fucking hitting. It's incredible.
He's fielding too. Is he playing some first base over there?
He might get an extension.
Don't sleep on it.
I mean, he would definitely get offered a deal for next year by somebody.
Someone's taking a year flyer on him. I mean, he's going to hit his 700, and he's not going to need to come back if that's what he's after, which I got to believe that's what he's after. There's no way you continue to creep closer and closer to that milestone and are like, I don't care if I hit 5 more. No, he fucking cares. He absolutely cares, and he should care. I want him to care. We all want him to care because as he continues to wrap these bitches out of the yard, we're all getting more and more excited. 25 games. Ish. 25-ish. You mean to tell me he ain't got 5 in there?
He only needs 3.
He can do this.
He's going to play every game.
He needs 4.
He doesn't need 3?
No, he needs
3. Yeah.
And they can play him every game now. Who cares who's pitching? It's locked up. Their position is locked. They can't.
Well, you don't want to burn him out. He's like a Tamagotchi. You gotta manage him so that he can get to the finish line. You don't want to burn him out. You want him to have enough juice to be able to get there. And right now, I think that they've been doing a fantastic job of managing Albert.
Yes, they have. I just love what he's done since getting back to St. Louis. That just it means the absolute most. He deserved to have a positive send off from the game, and he's getting that. And I don't know that was going to happen for him as an Angel. Like, there was just going to be so much more looking back and not addressing what's happening now. And that's always a tough way to do things. So instead of doing that, we're talking about what he's doing right now, talking about what the Cardinals are doing right now, what kind of impact he's had on them since coming over. Like, that is the conversation I wanted to be having about Albert Pujols in the last year, if it is, that we'll ever see him play baseball.
Okay, if he was still the Angels, it'd be in first place right now. The guy, He's like the best. I think he has the most home runs out of anyone in the home run derby since the home run derby. And I don't think it's particularly close.
Say that again.
Pujols?
He's got the most home runs out of the players in the home run derby since the home run derby.
Oh.
So he's out homering the number one home run hitters in the league.
How about
Let's see.
Albert?
July.
Really?
It's September 12th. Okay.
Are you really gonna fucking fact check me right now, man?
Yeah, dude.
You trying to
We're a
embarrass me
fact
or
check
something?
podcast, bro. Albert Pujols, since the All-Star game, where is he at OPS wise? Does he not? Oh, he must not qualify.
No, he's only got like 300 at bats, right?
How many plate appearances does he
Or
have?
that's what I meant. Plate appearances. I don't think he has 300.
Okay, so call it 100 plate appearances in the second half. He's second in Major League Baseball. It's Judge, Pujols, Goldschmidt.
Love that.
In the second half, he's hitting 336 with an 1124 OPS. And then if you do that just against lefties, I'd have to change the plate appearances again.
He's doing king shit. That's what he's doing.
He against lefties, his plate appearances, I set it to 1565. That's his OPS. Leads the majors. It's Pujols, Goldschmidt, Austin Riley, Randy Arozarena, Anthony Rizzo, Aaron Judge. Albert Pujols just in 37 games, 52 plate appearances, hitting a cool 435 against lefties
Mashing.
with a 500 on base percentage. He's slugging 1065 against lefties in the second half.
I called it.
Yeah,
Called
you
this.
did call it. You said Albert Pujols was going to be the best hitter in baseball in the second half. And I agreed with you, but you had the take first.
Mhm.
How many home runs does he hit in the second half?
12.
12? Are you sure it's not 13?
It is
12.
12. Mm-hmm. Yep. Judge has 24, which is fucking crazy.
That's good. That's really
Judge has 24. Goldschmidt has 16. Ohtani has 15. Eugenio Suarez, who, by the way, we're going to get to that.
Ohtani's a pitcher.
He
Now
is.
listen,
Suarez, 14. And then you have Machado, Mookie, and Rowdy Tellez at 13 before you get to Albert Pujols. He's just doing it. He's doing it. And good for him. And good for him. Good for baseball. And all those fucking losers that tweet me on Sundays. Oh, football's on. Football's on. Why are you watching baseball? Football. Concussion ball's on. Come on, man. Put it on.
concussion ball.
Yeah. So if you missed baseball on Sunday, you missed Albert Pujols hitting 697. And you also missed the game of the year. Braves Mariners. The game of the fucking year. And it was tough for me because I love both of those teams. But the Mariners broadcast is undoubtedly my favorite. I can't call it the best because I think the Mets broadcast has the best broadcast. But all right, Joe, you hate the Mets? Oh, I don't like the Mets. I don't like the team, so that means I can't like the broadcast either.
Dude, they're fucking little kids, dude. They do disrespectful shit on the broadcast.
Baseball doesn't exist. Download, wait, subscribe. I don't like the Mets.
Oh.
Okay, so you're telling me you like the Mets broadcast.
Yeah.
You
And
like
you just
that,
told me it was
that
his favorite.
cokehead Keith Hernandez? You think he's good?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
You know, fucking the other guy faked cancer. That's what Lenny Dexter said.
Lenny Dykstra said that?
Who? Ron Darling? Yeah, Lenny Dykstra. You gotta follow.
I would
him on
imagine
Twitter.
that Lenny Dykstra.
He keeps calling out Ron Darling for faking cancer. It's so ridiculous.
Lenny Dykstra is
shouldn't laugh at
probably amongst the most unreliable sources in the baseball world.
That fucking dude is, and everybody associated with that dude.
Mm-hmm. So here's what we're gonna do. It was a 6-2 ball game. 6-2 ball game. 9th inning, top 9. 2 runners on, both in scoring position. A full count, 3-2. Michael Harris, the second. He's up, and this is what happens.
Swing and a drive. How far is that baby going? My, oh my, off the third deck.
It's a pretty good call. It's pretty good. So that makes it a 6-5 ball game. And then a friend of the program that we've never had on. Robbie Grossman, he was in Oakland, right? For a while?
Yeah. Robbie's a boy. Robbie's a homie.
Yeah. Robbie Grossman comes up. And this is with Seawald out there, who, by the way, pretty cool quotes coming out of the game after that, because Seawald gave up the homer here to Grossman. And, he was obviously he was beating himself up about, putting the Mariners in that position in the first place. You have a 6-2 lead in the 9th inning. He's probably with 2 outs and 2 strikes. You should probably win that game. And his teammates were like, hey, like, you saved us 25 times. Okay, now it's time for us to return the favor. We'll save you. And that's basically what happened. But before that happened, Robbie Grossman happened.
Swing drive. Robbie Grossman unloads, and the Braves have taken the lead. I don't believe it.
That's a great call. That's a great call.
Wow.
I love Wash.
He even gave him the right arm that time.
So, great call. And then you have, by the way, the stat on this that I saw earlier, Julio Rodriguez. Here it is. This is from Cespedes Barbecue. Julio's home run is the hardest hit ball Kenley Jansen has allowed in the StatCast era, aka since 2015.
It almost went through the fucking scoreboard
by a full 3 miles per hour. The second hardest hit ball was 114.1 miles per hour. So this is a full 3 miles per hour.
Yeah,
he broke the Kenley Jansen record.
That just means that he's throwing harder than ever. Its velocity's up.
Nope.
No, that's not what that means.
That's
at all.
actually really complimentary of Kenley. In his
Yeah, I
old
don't think
age,
it
he's
is.
throwing gas.
Julio Rodriguez, who homered to lead off the game, right? Yeah. So this is his second home run against poor Kenley Jansen.
1-1 from Jansen.
There you go. Left field. We got a tie ball game. Julio. Oh, baby, what a moment. Tie ball game at 7-7. Oh, did he hurt that pitch?
I mean,
Home run number 25 for Julio Rodriguez.
Seattle was buzzing.
Oh, that place is
Buzzing.
fucking.
These are playoff
Losing
games in Seattle. They were fucking losing it. Playoff game atmosphere in Seattle. So ARod comes up, smacks his second homer of the game. And Suarez had already homered earlier in this one too. This was a multi-homer game for both of them.
Balls are flying.
Balls were flying. So now we got Kenley trying to deal with Suarez in a 7-7 ball game. Still nobody out in the bottom of the ninth.
You know.
Giddy up, baby. Giddy up. Giddy up. And the Mariners win this ball game. The Mariners beat the Atlanta Braves.
Good for Seattle, because I feel like that was the rubber match over the weekend. It was great baseball. They go into Sunday each trying to win the series. Two great teams. Two teams that are going to be there. And that's something that we haven't been able to say about the Seattle Mariners in 2 decades. Over 2 decades, technically. But that was the game of the year. If you were like, that was one, like we were talking about that. I don't know if it was an episode or 2 ago about how it's cool to see the highlight, but there's just something about that feeling of being locked in when it actually happens, like catching it live. And I got to see 697. I got to see that happen live. And then I just so happened to tune into Mariners Braves for that whole 9th inning, just being like, this is fucking nuts. Like,
well, that's why you want more people to watch that, is because it gets them invested in the plight of the Seattle Mariners and what has been an empty postseason run for God knows how long, 20 years or whatever. So, yeah.
What a world.
See why it's a
Joe?
big deal.
Joe, how do you feel, man?
It was I wish this happened against another team other than the Braves. That would be right with you. It's hard for me.
Were you watching it live?
To really, I missed most of this, to be honest. I stopped watching the game in like, I don't know, probably like the 6th. And then I got a notification on my phone that was like, dude, home run. The Braves take the lead in the 9th. And I turned it on.
The 9th.
I'm like, I'm about to make a tweet like, dude, we're just fucking destined. This is the statement win of the century. I mean, come on. Even when
the dude from fucking Hawthorne Heights was texting you about the Braves.
Who's that?
Oh my God.
I don't know what you're saying. I'm literally thinking about, I don't care. I don't know. It's all right.
That was such a fucking great joke, and it just went right over your fucking head because you're a young idiot.
I never heard of that, but it's good. Good joke.
Hawthorne Heights?
That's Saved by the Bell.
Joe. Come on.
Excuse me?
That's Bayside Heights.
It's not Bayside Heights. It's Bayside.
Bayside. Hi.
You never heard this song?
I found.
Hey there, I know it.
You never heard this song, Joe?
It sounds like another song. But no.
You've definitely heard the song.
I heard a lot of songs that sound like this song, but I don't think I heard this song.
You've definitely heard this.
I don't think so, honestly.
This is the fucking kind of music. This is that. What's the meme going around? Tonight I'll fall in love with you.
Yeah, that was a funny joke. You ruined it.
Yeah.
Well, either way.
Pain in the hearts of those young adolescents.
Either way, Braves took an L. The Mets, I guess it was basically we just lost to the Mets. If you go on Twitter and look at the replies, I mean, we just played the Mets and lost to them. And the Mets just had a sick comeback in the 9th. And they got the AL Rookie of the Year hitting fucking bombs. And like, yeah, you're right, Jared. They do have the most electric booth. That was the Mets calling that last. That was Keith Hernandez up there. And congratulations to the Mets fans on that. They won twice yesterday. Wow.
That, you know what? I will back you on that. That is kind of like how it went down. Like the reaction on Twitter was like the Mets just walked off the Braves.
For real. I mean, I'm pretty sure. I mean, let's be honest, a lot of Braves fans probably had turned that game off. Like, I don't want to watch this shit. We lost. And the Mets fans were like, ooh, 6-2. They're like rebels. They're like loving it. Like, yeah, let's watch this. Watch the Braves lose. And then the Braves came back. And then they blew it. And the Mets were tapped in on that. It was a tough loss, but I think it was it's just a good win for the Mariners. For them. That was a very big series for them. Statement series.
Yeah.
Beating the defending world champions.
Mm-hmm.
And
that series means more. I don't see. Here's the key word here. This series means more to the Mariners, but it meant more for the Braves. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
For sure.
Definitely
Yeah.
does.
Okay. That was like the first time that I think that's ever worked out for me. Like, did what I just say makes sense? It's usually a resounding
But
no.
it makes sense because for the Mariners, a team that's kind of been like a not cusp team, but like, can they go far to beat the Braves?
It catapults them, yes, and brings the group together even more. It just kind of shows you we're resilient, even when areas of our game that are supposed to prop us up maybe get a little shaky. We have the ability to come back and take care of business in another way. Winning a ball game in different ways is very important. You got to be able to do it in different ways. Can we throw the shutout? Can we win the blowout? Can we win the tight ball game? Are we able to just run away with it? Like that's, you got to be able to win multiple ways.
Yeah, and then you go on look at the Braves perspectives. It's like, you expect to win 2 out of 3 against the Mariners, and you don't. Which
it needed to happen. It needed to happen because of the division too.
Yeah, that's what. Losing a game on the Mets, not good.
I mean, it means a lot to the Mariners to be able to show themselves that this is what we can do, and it fucking hurts the Atlanta Braves because it's like, hey, if we're serious about this whole division thing, like we can't lose 2 out of 3 anymore. Like it's got to be going the other way around.
In the second half of the season, the Atlanta Braves have 31 wins. How many wins do the Mets have?
26, 7.
31.
It's neck and neck.
They just have 2 more losses.
It might come down to one. We got one more series left with them. It might come down to that because it looks looking like a dog
Where is
fight. It's a good question. But I'll be honest with you. It don't fucking matter.
I think it does matter a lot.
It don't fucking matter, bro.
You guys got fucking waxed in Queens.
That's old shit. You always say that kind of crap. It's
in Atlanta.
It's old stuff, dude. And it's in Atlanta.
Uh-huh.
So
33. They're since the All-Star break. The Braves are 33-16. The Mets are 33-18.
Yeah, and if we're just calling a spade, the Braves' losses, and there haven't been a lot recently, have been because of Kenley Jensen. A lot of people coming for his neck. A lot of people calling Snit old piece of shit, lost his touch. He doesn't know the numbers. He's just.
So let me ask you this: if Kenley ends up being a problem for the Braves, how do they fix that? Because we're past.
No. AJ Minter.
Okay, it's that simple
to me.
Okay,
I mean,
because you have to remember 2018 Boston Red Sox. They won 118. They won 108 games, and virtually had no closer. Craig Kimbrell was useless in that postseason. They didn't even use him as a closer. They had to figure it out. So it's if you're a Braves fan thinking, man, Jansen sucks right now. He's a guy whose main pitch is a cutter and he can't throw a cutter right now. That's kind of a huge issue for me.
It's cutting. It's flat though. It's backing up. And it doesn't have it's a different pitch every time.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, if you are in that realm, you're a Braves fan and you're freaking out about Kenley Jansen and how's this going to fuck us in the postseason, there are ways around it. There's a path. Teams have had their shutdown electric closer lose it at the most inopportune time and still won a World Series. So we'll see.
They got a deep bullpen. They got a deep bullpen. And I wouldn't count Kenley out. I mean, we all go through bad stretches.
Sure.
I mean, look at the Braves last year. We had Will Smith the whole year. Poor Will Smith got killed. I mean, every time he's on the Braves fans fucking hate Will Smith. He doesn't give up a single run the entire playoffs. Was the best pitcher in the world. You gotta trust your guys. All right.
Trust them.
You signed Kenley for a reason.
That reason is to go back to back.
Did you guys see?
Can they do it?
Did you guys see Mike Trout over the past week?
Is he hitting homers?
6 in a row to be exact.
Is it 1 home run a game in 6 games, or did he? Is it 6 home runs in 6 games, or is it
homers
6 straight
in
games with a home run?
6 straight games with a home run.
Okay. Because I've seen such streaks where it's like homer, 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 miss a game, 2 homers, 1 homer.
Yeah, no, he homered in 6 straight games, and that is a franchise record.
What's like is it Griffey? Does Griffey have the record for most consecutive games with a homer?
It's Mattingly. 10.
With what, 10?
Yeah.
Griffey had 9?
Most consecutive
Oh,
games.
Yeah, it's Mattingly. I think Votto was 1 away last year or the year before.
There's
yeah,
8
last year.
consecutive games.
Mattingly had 10. I'm pretty goddamn sure. Is it 8?
8.
I'm
Fucking
a
idiot.
dumbass idiot.
8 straight games. So we're both right.
sorry.
Ken Griffey Jr. did it.
Oh, they tied.
In the history of Major League Baseball, only 8 players have homered in at least 7 straight games, the most recent of whom is Joey Votto. 8
Remember
straight
that.
games. Ken Griffey Jr. did it in 93. Don Mattingly did it in 87. And Dale Long, whoever the fuck that is, sorry Pirates fans if he's a big
Dale.
deal, I don't know. 1956. Yeah. So it's 8 straight games, and both Ken Griffey Jr. and Don Mattingly have done it.
So he hit 6 home runs in 6 days, and then they give him a day off. You like that?
Mhm.
No, I didn't like that.
But if his back is barking,
Well, that's something you got to take care of. So they gave
So
him a day
wait.
off.
is the streak alive? He just didn't
Yeah.
play,
It's live.
so he
Yes.
can play tonight, hit a homer, and that's 7 straight.
Uh-huh.
Do you have the fucking balls to say that he'll do it, Dallas?
Oh, yeah, I'll fucking say he'll do it. Absolutely.
You think he's going to
Absolutely.
homer in 7 straight games?
Yep. How about this? What are we going to put on the line? If he doesn't do it, Jared, you have to get a small rainbow trout tattoo on your ass.
That seems like a terrible deal for me.
No, I feel like that's a good deal. If Mike Trout hits
Is
his
it?
7th homer in his 7th game, you get a rainbow trout tattooed
You
on
said
your
if he
ass.
doesn't hit a
Or
home run.
if he doesn't, sorry, yes.
I'm not the one who's saying that he's going to do it. You
Why
are.
are you fucking with my deal here? Just play the game.
It's a terrible game.
Just
And
play the
that's
game.
a terrible deal for me. The Angels don't even play tonight, so I take. No, they do play. They play the Guardians.
Oh yeah.
Angels Guardians at 6:10 Eastern.
And if he does, I'll get 7 small rainbow trout tattooed on
Yeah,
my
but you're a
ass in
fucking
row.
weirdo. Like you probably want to do that.
I know you
So
don't
like either
want
I get a tattoo
rainbow
that I
trout
don't want,
tattooed
or
on your
you get a
ass.
tattoo that you want. Like there's no way to win a Dallas wager. Like I know that.
I'm
You
not
should have tried that shit with Jake or Joe.
I'm not I don't want the tattoo. I would just be willing to get it.
No, you definitely it's something like I did that when I did the fucking rock, paper, scissors thing. Like
Where's
I
that at?
fucking against Andrew Benintendi, I was like, hey, I've liked the name Benny for a dog. And I was like, all right, if you win, I'll name my dog after you. I can't lose.
Well, your
That's what you
dog's-
just try to do.
Your dog's name is Jacoby anyway.
Yeah, but I'm talking about if I get a dog, like Jacoby's the family dog.
He is a good little fella.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's a grumpy old fuck. But I'm not taking that bet.
Pussy. He's gonna do it.
I mean, if you want to come back to the negotiating table later in the program, I'm willing to. The door of my office is open, but I'm not getting a fucking fish tattoo. Definitely not.
Oh, so fucking afraid. Just live a little.
Just live a little. That's the just live a little is the Dallas Braden spring training motto. Everything is just come on, just live a little.
Come on.
No,
Come on.
no,
He's-
Dallas. I don't want
He's
to.
one of the best players.
I don't want to sign up for a fucking monster truck derby, dude. No,
Hey,
come on,
yes, you do.
go. Just live a little. Come on.
Just because we're gonna be strapped to the bed of that monster truck doesn't make a difference. You want to do it.
Just slap the shit out of that wasp nest. Just live a little, dude. Come on. Just slap it.
Let's hike this hill with the killer bee nest.
Yeah. Let's climb this fucking mountain. Yeah. Come on, Carrabis. Just live a little. Yeah. I know that it's like a form of punishment for D1 athletes, and you're not in shape at all. But let's hike this fucking mountain. Just live a little.
You'll be happy when it's over. You'll be happy you did it.
Exactly.
I know. I mean, actually, I got a pretty cool picture up there, but yeah, unfortunately, I can't use it anymore because I don't look like that anymore. But I'd go up there. I'd go up there for the gram again. Yeah. What's it called? Fucking Death Valley. The fuck. What's it called?
Camelback Mountain.
Yeah.
Death Valley. No, it's a regular hike that 80-year-old women do.
No. There's trails that sound like that. It's fucking like Skull Pass. Satan's asshole trail.
There's an escalator on it.
There's not.
They're fucking tallying you off halfway with spritzer. Jared, I can't do this. You should see the hell I put myself through.
No, who do we have on? Spencer Torkelson, who said that's what they used to do. Like, it was called like Hell Week.
Yeah. At U of A.
Yeah. So don't tell me you're deceiving the listener into believing that it's like just like some stroll in the park. No, it sucks. Arizona's 1,000 degrees and the mountains are very dangerous.
It's hot as fuck.
Yeah.
It's just hot as fuck, and you're waiting.
Yeah, but blue moons are cold as fuck.
Yes, they
especially
are. Move me, Jake.
Especially when you have one during a nice little baseball game. Me and Jake are going to fucking Fenway tomorrow.
Heyo, gonna have some moons.
Yeah, we're gonna have some moons.
Maybe
hopefully sit over by the Red Sox dugout. Jake's never sat there. Jake sat there when we were at Wrigley, but not at Fenway, right?
Yeah, only at Wrigley.
Gotta get it.
Yeah, you were on the visiting team side the last time you sat that close. So this will be a different experience, but it'll be a great experience because we'll have blue moons, and baseball and beer go hand in hand. And Blue Moon is the perfect stadium companion with its bold flavor, bright explosion of color, iconic orange slice ritual, and authentic ballpark roots. In fact, Blue Moon was born in a ballpark first created at the Sandlot Brewery in Denver, Colorado. From the first pitch to extra innings, a Blue Moon guarantees a one-of-a-kind beer experience every single time. Gonna be drinking those Blue Moons at Fenway. Actually, I don't know. I hope that they sell them at TD Garden. I'm going to see Eric Clapton this weekend. Is that what it sounds like? Just like a cat getting strangled.
You don't have to go anymore. You just heard it here.
Damn, dude. Damn. But yeah, I'm excited to have those Blue Moons with Jake tomorrow night, Tuesday.
You guys
from its refreshing flavor. What?
Double moons?
Yeah. From its refreshing flavor with Valencia orange peel for a subtle sweetness and hints of coriander. Blue Moon Belgian White is one-of-a-kind beer. It's made brighter. It's carefully crafted and full flavored with refreshing notes and a smooth, creamy finish. Why strike out with the same old beer when you get something that's one of a kind? Best served with a signature orange garnish to showcase its beautiful hazy color. A beer this good only comes around once in a blue moon, but you can enjoy it all season long. Break out of your same old beer slump. Blue Moon Belgian White is one of a kind every time. Get Blue Moon Belgian White delivered by visiting get.bluemoonbeer.com/rocket to see your delivery options. That is get.bluemoonbeer.com/rocket. Blue Moon, made brighter, celebrate responsibly. Blue Moon Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado Ale. What else was left on the docket here?
I feel like we've covered quite a bit.
We have covered a decent amount. Derek Jeter Day. He threw out the first pitch in front of the mound, and it was a ball.
Thoughts?
Yeah, that's ridiculous. He's so famous for telling George Bush not to do that.
Right.
Yeah,
Don't bounce it. Get up on the bump. I mean, You got to play it safe though if you're DJ, right? Come on, you can't go up there on the
No.
mound and fuck that
Nope.
up. You do that, it's
Nope.
fucking
Live a
over.
little.
That's the price you pay for being that great in New York.
I was able to do so.
Where a first pitch,
a little
an
sad.
errant
I didn't want
first
people to
pitch.
think that their president was incapable of finding the plate. So I go underneath the Yankee Stadium, in the bowels of Yankee Stadium, and there's a hitting cage there, and he's wearing his bulletproof jacket, and he's getting his arm loose, and Derek Jeter comes up to him. Hey, Prez, how are you doing? Good, Derek. It's good luck tonight. Thank you, sir. He says, hey, I hear you're throwing out the first ball. So I just asked him if he was going to be throwing the first pitch from the mound or in front of the mound. President said, I think I'll throw from the base of the mound. Jeter said, I wouldn't do that if I were you, Mr. President. And I told him, you better throw it from the mound, otherwise you're going to get booed. I said, this is Yankee Stadium. So, okay, I'll throw from the mound. And he's walking out, and he looks over his shoulder. He says, don't bounce it. They'll boo you. And so the pressure all of a sudden, I mean, I'm sitting there kind of fairly relaxed, feeling fairly loose, and the great Derek Jeter, don't bounce it. They'll boo you. All of a sudden, the pressure mounted.
So Derek Jeter tells the president of the United States, you better get your ass on that fucking mound
Yeah, don't bounce this shit.
or they'll boo you.
Uh-huh.
Derek Jeter throws out the first pitch on Derek Jeter Day in front of the mound. I thought it was about respect. I thought that's what it was always about. And as a fan, I did not feel very respected on Derek Jeter Day.
As a Derek Jeter fan, Jared Carrabis was not feeling really appreciated. And I didn't either.
Yeah, see? Jake, did you feel respected on Derek Jeter Day?
I felt pretty insulted.
Yeah. Dallas, what are your thoughts? I mean, like, you're a former big league pitcher. Like, what's the I guess not protocol but etiquette? If you're a former big leaguer throwing out a first pitch on your day, don't you kind of have to do it from the mound, especially when you're like notorious for telling other people to do it?
I
like
mean,
fucking
maybe under
75-year-old
those
presidents.
Like, I'll tell you right now, I'm not going all the way up to the rubber these days. My arm cannot take that. Cold? You want me to just, I might as well underhand it.
I mean, it's not that hard.
It's one pitch.
I've had my shoulder reconstructed 3 different times.
Yeah, I don't care.
I thought you were from Stockton, bro.
Yeah, I thought that was all about like the 209 and shit like that.
Dude.
The 209 is always like, we don't give a fuck about pain.
I am not going to endure throwing a baseball 14 feet in front of me and watching it roll to home plate because I can't even fucking yawn without my shoulder potentially getting stuck in fucking place. I could fuck around and throw a ball out there and then need to be taken off the field via ambulance.
Wouldn't you recognize that you're kind of like a beacon of hope for the people of Stockton, and that if you threw a first pitch from in front of the mound,
again, if we're taking me and putting me in that place, yeah, I go up to that. Absolutely.
I mean, you're the only athlete doing anything from Stockton at the moment. Like, you're the only
ever.
one.
Pretty much.
That's it.
Not even just like athlete, just like anyone in general to come out of Stockton and do anything successful in life is very rare. So you're a beacon of hope. And maybe there is a Dallas Braden Day someday where like you have like the perfect game, but then like what if it's like, hey, we're celebrating 25 years in the booth for Dallas Braden. It's Dallas Braden Day. And let's have it on the anniversary of the perfect game. And it's 25 years of Braden in the booth. Then they ask you to throw out the first pitch and you're just like, I can't wipe my own ass.
Then yeah, I fucking let it fly. I let it fly. And if that was your way of saying shout out to Nick and Nate Diaz for what they have done in the global sport of ultimate fighting, of MMA, then thank you, Jared, because yes, it was.
Mm-hmm.
Nate Diaz, who just recently tied up El Kukui, had him tapping after a whole bunch of bullshit that went down. Kamaya fucking beat it.
Mm.
Yeah. So shout out the homie Nate dropping diesel.
Mm.
choking my
Joe, you a
buttons.
UFC guy?
I love Nate Diaz and Nick Diaz,
Yeah.
and I watched that
You-
shit.
you- part of the Diaz army.
Stockton, motherfucker. Dude, I always rep Stockton, dude. I always rep 209 because
Yeah, you do.
because of the Diaz Army, man.
Yeah, you do.
I always rep 209. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
Coming
Nate
for that
fucked
ass.
him up. Nate fucked him up. I knew he would. Respect
Coming
the
for
legend.
that
Jake
ass.
Paul's next. Fucking
Oh yeah, that fight is actually happening, right? It's gonna be
Jake Paul, Anderson
Silva.
Yeah.
I'm like, I might buy that.
hell yeah. Crazy not
it
to.
still is not like
No, that's legit. This is the most legit fight. This is the first fight I think he's gone into as a dog, Jake Paul.
he's not fighting a boxer.
He's boxed.
I said
Yeah.
he's not
not,
fighting
like-
a boxer.
Yeah, but he's boxed.
Who, Anderson Silva?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to understand. All the shit talking is about this dude picking on older fighters, older mixed martial artists, or older athletes that don't do this, quote unquote, for a living, like boxing specifically. And that's why everybody said, let's get in the fucking cage
Well, neither does
Coming
he,
into
in
the cage.
fairness.
and let's see how that goes. Neither does he what?
I mean, like he doesn't. I mean, he does do it for a living, but like this would be like this isn't Mike Trout versus this isn't Mike
what it's
Trout
like? No, this is
versus,
what
like,
it
high
is. This
school
is-
kids.
This is literally what it is. It's like me as a YouTuber, fucking haven't thrown a baseball in years. I just start training to be a pitcher, and then 3 years from now, I'm in AAA, and I got the ERA title, and Dallas is like, "You ain't doing it against the big leaguers." Is that not impressive? If I fucking make AAA 3 years from now,
Are you telling me that what Jake Paul is doing and the people he has fought is equivalent to a AAA career or
I would
the
say it'd be-
climb, the
I would
climb
say-
to AAA?
I
Well,
think
How
he
many
so.
pro
skipped some
fights does
sli-
Jake Paul have under his belt?
oh, he skipped some
Professional fights.
steps. He gets.
Well, hold on, but I'll be the first one to say that. Hey, skipping some of those steps is all part of being a draw too, right?
yeah.
Like the kids that are fucking chunking them in Detroit right now, the kids that are chunking them in Tennessee right now in the fucking Gold Gloves League and all that. Why are they not where Jake Paul is? Well, because they're not the draw. They're simply not the draw. That's a great place to start, right? They're just not the draw. From there, are they viable? Well, maybe, but let's combine the draw and their viability. What do you got? 26 people, 2 relatives, and a fucking ex-teacher that are going to show up? Great. That's not getting it done. Well, Jake Paul's the draw. So dollar signs for sure. Butts and seats, check. Viability? To the point where other people are like, you know what? He's doing it, but they're attaching qualifiers to what he's doing. That gets people excited. That gets people's attention. That gets people pissed off. Jake Paul is somebody that a lot of people would love to see just get smoothed the fuck out. Just a great business play, man.
It is. Like you're legit enough to where you can beat recognizable names and you're a prick, so everyone pays to watch you get knocked out, but you never get knocked out. It's
Yep.
fucking awesome. It's like whack-a-mole. It's like a dunk tank, but the target's broken. That's what it is.
Well, yeah, and he's fighting guys like can we pull up the list of people that he's fought?
I'll tell you right now. He fought Nate, the basketball player, Nate Robinson.
Yeah,
Robinson
Nate
beat him.
Robinson fucking
Knocked his ass
him
out.
So okay, so
Ben
he's fought a
Askren.
basketball player.
Ben Askren
a
knocked his
wrestler.
ass out.
A wrestler.
Knocked his ass out.
Yes, he did.
Tyron Woodley beat his ass
A
Twice?
twice.
wrestler. A wrestler. Some would say the fix was in.
Yeah, okay. He's a wrestler, but he's also got knockouts in the UFC and trained boxing while in the UFC.
And okay, go ahead.
And now he's fighting the next guy.
Okay, so he's fought 3
Anderson
people.
Silva.
He had a fight with Fury lined up.
Yeah.
Yeah, what happened to that?
He
Well-
got scared. Fury got scared, dude. He got hurt or something.
I mean, he was just in a WWE ring.
No, which Fury? There's like 6 Furies. We're talking different Furies.
Tyson.
No, it's
It was
his
just
like
an-
brother
yes.
or something.
No,
dude.
yeah,
It's like,
not Tyson.
All I'm saying.
I thought he was trying to fight him. Either that or Logan was.
That ain't going well, buddy. That's not.
Well, I mean,
that's
Logan,
not to take
Logan
away, not
couldn't
to take
even.
away the effort, but yeah, like you're fighting 2 MMA guys who boxing was not their primary strength. It's part of their skill set.
Anderson Silva's different. He's a different beast. he may not be like a strictly just a boxer, but he can box. Like he's boxed before. I think this is his toughest task, and it's why he's coming in as a dog. And I still think he's going to win.
He's gonna win, dude.
It's going to be whether or not Jake Paul can take the brunt of whatever it is that Anderson Silva can muster up. That's
When
where,
is this fight?
I think next weekend.
Is this?
I mean, the fact that we're talking about it on our fucking baseball podcast.
Mhm. This isn't the first time that we've talked about combat sports.
No,
I mean, there's been times where we've been forced to talk about fucking
whoa,
slapdick boxing, but there is a difference here. Why is the date so hard to find?
Dude, it's a nightmare.
October 29th?
oh yeah,
What?
Yeah,
I
bro.
thought it was this month.
Nah. You're gonna have to.
Saturday, October 29th. If that it's in the middle of the fucking World Series.
We'll be in Atlanta. Fuck. We'll watch together.
We'll probably be together.
Maybe an off day.
We'll probably be together. October 29th,
Love
as of right now, would be World Series Game 2. So,
So who's lined up to pitch that game? I'm thinking. Looking at the schedule now,
mhm.
we'll win the division, so we'll get a bye. Probably, I would say 4 games for DS. Then we'll reset the lineup. Max Friedman's first game for the CS against the Dodgers. That'll probably take 6 games.
Yeah.
So I think Charlie Morton's lined up for game 2 of the World Series at this point.
Okay. I mean, who knows? Game 2, I don't know if we'll be in Atlanta or if we'll be in an AL ballpark, but be interesting to find out. And if we do end up watching that fight together, we should probably bring some CBDMD with us.
fuck
Because they are the leaders in hemp-based CBD and Delta-9 THC products. These guys have everything you could possibly need to just straight up feel better. And their latest breakthrough is Delta-9 THC. These sneaky innovators found a way to get these Delta-9 THC products shipped directly to your door. Some restrictions may apply because of course they do. So check your local laws before purchasing. But I'm telling you, this stuff is the real deal. They've got gummies packed with 10 milligrams of THC, perfect for winding down after watching the Red Sox blow yet another lead, which they didn't. They actually took 2 out of 3 against the Baltimore Orioles this past weekend, but I didn't mention anything about that. All the people are like, oh, he only talks about the Red Sox. I haven't fucking talked about the Red Sox once this whole fucking show. So now I need to take some CBDMD to unwind because now you've got me all wound up.
chill, bro.
10 milligrams sound like a lot to you? CBDMD has you covered with their microdose soft gels, which is 1 milligram of THC. These little guys pack a punch that's perfect for all-day support whenever and wherever you need it the most. Don't get all caught up in the technicalities. This is the same THC that you've come to know and love over the years, just extracted from hemp. I've been taking them every single night to kind of wind down. It's a nice little ritual that I got going on. But for you, if you want to learn more about Delta-9 and everything else CBDMD has to offer, just head to cbdmd.com. Once again, that is cbdmd.com for more information, education, and the best damn gummies that you've ever had. You must be 21 years or older to purchase Delta-9. All right. That's pretty much covers it. The only thing else that I wanted to say was, did you see my tweet about the doctor list that I made?
No.
So I tweeted like, I obviously during baseball season, I'm really fucking busy and I don't have time to like make like a doctor's appointment or whatever. So I've been in my phone, like in the notes app, I've just been like writing things down that I need to like bring up to the doctor, like things that are wrong with me. And then my mom saw the tweet and she was like, send me that list. And I sent it to her this morning and she's like, call the fucking doctor. She's like, you need to make an appointment today. Like, this is not something that's going to wait until November. I was like, listen,
what's wrong with you?
The whole list.
It's a dog days of summer, bro. It happens.
Yeah. There's some like, it's not all the same tier. There's definitely some stuff that I should probably see a doctor immediately. But then there's other stuff where it's like I had like a fucking cyst inside my right earlobe that like was bleeding. Like there was like blood was like collecting at the bottom of my earlobe, like inside my ear. And I was like, all right, drain right earlobe was on there. There's just there's some things that I think can wait. And then like I have I've had this rash on my back for like a year. Yeah. I've had it for like a literal year. And I was like, I guess I should get that looked at. But it's been over a year. It's been like...
Are you allergic to latex?
No, I think...
Are you allergic to non-oxynol 9?
I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is, but...
I don't... IDGI. We'll get you some Clostebol. Don't worry, Jared.
Yeah, give me some Clostebol. Yeah, drain right earlobe is on there. Psychiatrist is on there. Back rash is on there. Physical. I need to get a physical. I haven't had any blood work.
Bert Backrash plays the hits.
Yeah. My left ear popped. Like I haven't been able to. Like my left ear, I haven't been able to like pop it in like 5 months. So I don't know if I gotta like get something.
No, you plug your nose and you put.
I tried that. I tried that. I tried
and
that.
Then you blow.
I tried that.
You didn't try hard enough.
Black tooth. There's like one of my teeth. There you can like. It's like there's like it's on the inside.
Uh-huh.
It's like black. But it's one of. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there.
Sounds like
cavity. I don't know, dude. I don't know. It could be a cavity. I don't know. I just put dentist. Parentheses, black tooth. It's probably the SIGs, man.
Clean it. Yeah, that's what it is. You're ripping those fucking herbal darts.
Yeah, a little too hard. A little too much enthusiasm on the herbal SIGs.
Let us know how the doctor goes.
I mean, this list is preposterous. So, yeah, I'm gonna let you know how it goes. I mean, it sounds like I'm gonna have to do like dentist. There's like dentist, psychiatrist, just regular physician, and then probably a dermatologist. I'm gonna have to go to like 4 different fucking places for all these problems.
Or you could probably just go to Walmart. Like you go to fucking rural Kentucky. You go to a fucking super Walmart out there, Jared. They got all that shit one spot.
Under the same roof?
Absolutely. You think I'm fucking around. I am not. They got dentistry. They got optometry. They got it all. Pediatrics, Walmart in the right spots in this country. Yeah. Uh-huh.
They'll take care of you. Good to know.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's on the docket. I was saving it for the off season. Sounds like I'm going to have to get the ball rolling sooner rather than later.
Yeah. Health. Feel free.
Mm-hmm. But that's the life of a 162 guy. You know, I got baseball every day.
That's it. That's it. Well,
baseball first, health second. Unless your mom finds out about your secret health list in your phone, and then you got to start booking stuff. I didn't tweet the list.
Oh.
I just tweeted that I had the list. But now everyone has the list. So
that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Whole fucking black tooth.
Black tooth. All right. We'll be back on Thursday. Enjoy your week of baseball. And Joey, any final thoughts? Oh, just a little tip of the cap.
Oh yeah,
Jake's
before we go, Shohei Ohtani, same WAR right now as he had last year, the whole season.
Oh,
Wow.
F WAR, B WAR.
F WAR.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I think he has Shohei. He's got 34 homers, which I think is tied for second. I believe his slugging percentage is somewhere around 539, 540, which I think is third in the American League. Those are some offensive numbers. He also has 188 strikeouts as a pitcher. That's only over 141 innings, maybe, I think, something like that. And the ERA is just at 2.5, just fifth best in the American League. Again, I gave you some hitting numbers for Ohtani, and then I gave you some pitching numbers for Shohei as well.
He's truly the two-sword samurai.
You've been waiting to say that, and I'm glad you took the time out. Good for you.
Good for you.
Sugoi!
Jake's takes.
Nobody fucking prouder of himself right now. I can feel you beaming through all 17 of your fucking microphones. Oh, he's
what do you
just
mean?
A two-sword samurai. Oh, god damn you, Joseph! Put a smile on my face.
He does two-sword style. No one else does two-sword style except him.
Oh,
it's true.
It's fucking absolutely true.
Mm-hmm.
The most dominant foot soldier.
Jake's takes.
I just can't wait to take an 8-year-old deep on the Win Reality headset.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know why it goes down to that level, but I mean, I guess if you're teaching an 8-year-old, it's definitely not for 33-year-olds to be like, yeah, throw that fucking slop up here, pal.
I'm telling you right now, like parents, we joke about it. That's something real to consider is the reps. And I'll even go this far to say this much about the Win Reality headset. And you know who I think this is really important for? Really important for? And I'm not saying this like it's only geared for this group. Travel ball players. Why? Well, let me tell you why. And I'm just going to be straight up with you. And travel ball parents that listen to this is why. Because how much money did you just spend for him to play on this team? For her to play on that team? How much did you just spend for this tournament weekend? Travel, hotel, okay? And now I want you to count the number of at-bats that your child got over the entire weekend. And then I want you to count the number of pitches your child saw over the entire weekend. And I'm not asking you to put a monetary value on the number of at-bats they get or the number of pitches they see, or to go further, the number of innings they get or the number of ground balls they receive. I'm not asking you to place a monetary value on that. I'm just asking you to step back and realize they're not getting as many reps as they fucking should. So come up off your cheap ass, open the fucking wallet, get these kids the fucking headset. So while that 4-hour hellacious drive into the middle of the fucking desert for their 16th tournament this month, they're going to be able to get something done, which is put on that Win Reality headset and take at bats virtually on the way to that tournament that they're going to get 7 total at bats in over the entire weekend. Yeah, you heard me. Come up off your cheap ass wallet, buy your fucking kids the headset, because this is going to be the first piece of technology that has a video game feel to it that I promise you is going to be beneficial.
Love that.